Good afternoon and welcome back to Shaftesbury Park with me, Katie Hoch. So the Bristol Aztecs are back on home soil today to face the Rushmoor Knights just 2 weeks after they travelled to their house and walked away with a staggering 83-0 victory. It was a clinical, dominant performance just 2 weeks ago, but the Rushmoor Knights are back with a point to prove, and the Aztecs need to prove that complacency is just not going to get the better of them. We've partnered with Pick 6 today to show you some of the stats behind the matchup and get really deep dived into the statistics. So, in your in-stream, we have your commentator Andrew Morgan, and I'm also joined here by Carl Walkinshaw, your in-stream analyst. Carl, what do you think the preparation has been like for the Rushmoor Knights to really close that gap today?
Well, it's going to be a tough challenge for them, but they have brought on an American quarterback today, playing number 13, so we're looking forward to seeing what he can do against this tough Bristol defence. They were juggernauts last week, so we'll see whether Rushmoor can actually get some points on the board.
And from an analysis perspective, are you fully expecting Bristol to keep their foot on the gas all day?
They're a really tough team to beat, national champions. They work really, really hard. They've had 2 weeks to prep this, Katie, and I think they'll come in all guns blasting as they always do. And they have such a depth of squad that I think you'll see a lot of rotations in, but they all play with a really high level of quality.
Thank you, Carl. So before we have a chat to the head coaches, we have a behind-the-scenes look at the Bristol sporting community in action. The Aztecs travelled to Shaftesbury Park to support their co-tenants, the Bristol Bears women, as they took on Exeter Chiefs as part of the PWR. You're about to see some commentary about how the two sports compare, some wild ambitions for the Aztec Sevens, and Sean Cook's daughter asking all of the very tough questions the rest of us are simply too afraid to ask. Let's take a look.
It looks right, like the Bears are running a drift defence, and the Chiefs are obviously blitzing.
You know what this reminds me of? Oh, let's go! It reminds me of like an inbound play in basketball. Yeah. Hey,
there we go.
Hey, oh! Hold on to the rock.
Here we go. Here we go. Send it.
It's good ball speed though. Things are happening fast and with good tempo.
Are you guys just like supporters of the Bears?
Yeah, I've got a season ticket of the men's and the women's.
Nice. Okay, that was a big win for the boys. Yeah.
Because they're having some water. They're thirsty. It's a hot day. It is summertime. That's right.
We actually got a chance to work with the Bristol Bears.
Yes. Yeah.
And checked out their facilities and everything like that. Fantastic.
The HBC is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's amazing for anything, right? Yeah. It's just they have those facilities for the type of players, food, nutrition, recovery, training. It's amazing, yeah.
I used to play number 8. That was my position.
That's where you play?
Yeah, that was my position.
The only time I've ever played, they made me play winger.
Yeah, that's like
on the outside, right?
Because those are your forwards that are in the scrum, and these are your backs.
I wonder how many of the Bears girls came through dings.
I think we'd have a sick rugby sevens team. Can you imagine someone trying to tackle Josh Brees in sevens? Game over.
I don't know about you, but I'm fully expecting to see Sean Cook's daughter in investigative journalism when she grows older. So I'm here with head coach Pete Jones. Pete, a historic win, really, over the Rushmoor Knights just 2 weeks ago with 83-0. How hard have you had to work to keep your team grounded today?
Yeah, you know, we've always got to work to keep them motivated. Giving them lots of things that we want to get better at practice is part of that. And we've been doing that over the last couple of weeks now, and we need to see some benefits from that in the game today.
Your team was producing an unbelievable 10.3 yards per play for the offense. What is the key to maintaining that explosive efficiency today?
I mean, we just got to keep focusing on ourselves, trying to get better every week. The guys know what they need to do to get better. You know, part of it's about energy and effort and playing to the whistle. We're just looking for improvements every week. And if you're striving to be better every week, you know, you carry on putting good performances on the field.
Thank you, Pete. Good luck. Enjoy the day.
Thanks a lot.
I'm also here with Phil Demont. Phil DeMonte, pleasure to meet you. It's a new week, it's a fresh game. Yep. What message of confidence do you have to instill confidence in your players today?
These guys out here to compete, and that's all. We got 3 more games after this, and we're going to give it our very best shot today.
Great. Thank you, Phil. Enjoy the day and good luck. So we've had Sean Cook's daughter asking the tough questions already, but she's not the only one. A few weeks ago in practice, Christian Canizal was also asking a very important question about whether it was cream or jam first. Let's take a look.
Question for you. Cream or jam first when you scone?
Cream or jam? Probably jam.
Cream or jam first when you scone?
It's gotta be cream. It's gotta be cream with the jam on top. That's the way it's gotta be done. If you're doing it any other way, you're doing it wrong.
Cream or jam first on your scone?
Ooh. Jam, because I want more jam on it.
New addition to the team. Important question for you, bro.
Go on.
Cream or jam first on your scone?
Jam, because I can't really know.
Cream or jam first?
Yeah, I do butter. Butter first. What's that cream? Cream. So I put the butter first when it's hot so it melts. You put the cream down, you put the jam in.
Okay. Cream or jam first in your scones?
Cream. Give me a break. So he's old, he would eat that stuff. Like that's who you ask, not me. I don't eat scone.
Andrew, Carl, I don't know about you, but before we get into the nitty-gritty about whether it's cream or jam first, I think we really need to decide whether it's pronounced scone or scone. Am I right?
My confidant for the rest of the Aztec season. Carl, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Andrew. So good to be with you up here. It's windy up here in the box, but we're looking forward to a great game today, and it's great to join you, buddy. You've been doing amazing things here, and love to be part of the team.
Now, before we start, you can say all the nice things that you want in the world. The burning question is, where do you fall on this? We've got to do our due diligence before we kick you off the scaffold for the rest of the season. Jam first, cream first?
It's always jam first, and then cream on top, and everyone knows that, Andrew.
Oh no! Oh, this is an awkward one. So if we could say goodbye to Carl Walkinshaw now for the rest of the season. Anyway, let's turn our attention to today's game. Obviously, it's going to be a tall order for Rushmoor. There's no two ways about that after the 83-0 result 2 weeks ago. Now, we both coach on teams when results don't go our way and we need to get back into practice and into the film and really move on to the next game. What do you think the message is going to be from Phil de Monte to his players here today?
Rushmoor Knights are definitely, they're a team in transition. They lost their head coach coming into that London Blitz game. And then they've been rebuilding ever since then. We've got a new quarterback again today. So I think it is a team in transition, but there is a core group of players that have stayed with the team. And they're setting their sights on the second half of the season. This for them, I think what they're saying is this is a training ground, a training game for the second half of the season when they get to play Cambridge and Wimbledon again and pick up those wins. So we'll have to see how it works out. Coach has got a tall order on his hands today because it really was a blowout last time, but I think they'd want to do better.
No, definitely. And looking at Bristol and obviously turning our attentions to them, we have the big three in Gretzinger, Brees and Wimmer, who are the statistical leaders obviously in the Premiership across the country. They're going to be starting, they're going to be playing and keeping that run going. So it's going to be good to see those guys doing what they do best out on the field.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, Coach Pete has got a real challenge on his hand to actually get as much playing time as he can. They're playing in a truncated season anyway because the London Warriors left and went over to Europe to become a professional team. They're out of the CEFL now. Pete's got a very large roster, but also those starters, Ethan and Brees and Wimmer, they're going to want to make sure that they keep those reps so that when it comes to the crunch time in the playoffs, they're not rusty, they're fresh and ready to go. So he's got to juggle all of that.
Well, that's it. We spoke with the coordinators in the week. We spoke to James Wilford, spoke to Brian Hudson as well. And the thing that they both said to me was when speaking to these guys, they wanted to play. They didn't want to be sitting and not having a chance to get out on the field and take part in this kind of game and be part of the experience, because these Bristol home games, they're something special. They really are. We've got the band over on the far side, which created a little bit of an issue when we were trying to figure out camera angles. They're going to be going all day. We've got the smoke from the South African grill. It's a fantastic experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is a great game to experience. If you've not been down to Bristol to catch a game here, do so. They are selling tickets fast as well. I think there's 500 or so sold for this game. They obviously have an aim that they would like to get more, Andrew, as we welcome Bristol onto the field.
Chris Green leading the team onto the field. Alfie Shawumnai with the sledgehammer, as well as the Bristol Aztecs take to the field here this afternoon at Shaftesbury Park. They're going to be playing in their orange jerseys and white pant combination, trying their best to emulate the Oregon Ducks and play in a different uniform combination each and every week.
It's great that they feature that, though, isn't it? And one of the things with British American football, especially this level, you want the teams to look great because it attracts fans, it attracts media attention, it attracts sponsors when you have a great-looking team like this. And Bristol, always immaculate with their kit, no matter which colours they're in.
So we are moments away from kickoff. It gives us an opportunity to announce our officiating crew provided by BAFA here this afternoon. Keith Wickham is going to be our white hat referee. The umpire will be Albert Lambert Jr. Head linesman will be Lewis Dillon. Line judge will be Dave Moore. And our back judge will be James Statham.
Yeah, great to have BAFA here, as always, supporting the game. Keith Wickham, head ref, he's supported the last two games that I was covering off for the Aztecs, so he's becoming very familiar with the players. And it helps when the referees become familiar with the players and the culture of the team, because they know that in terms of the calls that they make, they won't be biased in those calls, but they will know when something is out of order and when it's not, having experienced that team a number of times during the game. So it's great we've got that consistency.
And that's it. It's, especially with the games being streamed, we want to see the best level of football. We want to see the best level of officiating as well. And I think that's definitely shown here with the continuity. So we have the captains lining up on the far side for the Aztecs. Sean Cook, Keanu Ebanks, Idrissa Fofana, and Tom Seeger make up the four for Bristol.
And those two captains there, number 12 and number 30, obviously Sean Cook and Seeger, they had a massive impact on the game last time round. So we'll have to see how they do this time. Tom Seeger with the interception last time, and Sean Cook playing his 100th game against Rushmoor. So great to see them, and lots of experience among that Aztecs teams, as well as lots of youth as well coming through from the university side.
And then for the Rushmoor Knights, it's Harvey Macy, number 48, Dan Hatcher, number 73, and then finally number 11, James Owen, alongside number 71. That's Luke Scadden. Apologies for the delay. I've switched to the John Motson microphone. I have my spotter sheet, and what I'm finding is I have 2 hands less than what I actually need to do this. But if I switch to my headset, it's going to sound like I'm going up Everest in a gale force wind, because we essentially need to be latched onto this
if it's obvious,
this scaffold here.
You've got what's been given against you.
Indeed, it is windy up
If there's
here.
a choice, I'll point you towards your sideline, get your coach to send in the signal. Do it quickly. People here to watch you play football, not me enforce penalties. I have a Sunbelt coin. Sunbelt is a head. I know that because it says tails on the other side. So if it doesn't say tails, it's going to be a head. As a visiting team, you get to call. What do you want to call? What did he say? He said tails. And it is tails. You are going to defer your option. That means you're going to receive. Which end do you want to kick from? Okay, so you will run there. You go around that way for me, Bristol. So for the first half, Bristol will receive the ball at this end.
So Rushmoor will defer their choice to the start of the second half, and we'll be seeing the Bristol Aztecs offense coming out onto the field first here today. So lots of excitement for the Aztecs. It's very simple. They've got 83 to beat on one side, and they've got 0 to beat on the other car.
They were an absolute juggernaut 2 weeks ago against Rushmoor. We'll see what they come out with. David Pemberton's back on that offensive line. He missed that last game. They've also got a different right tackle today. But whenever they rotate people on that offensive line, they still come out and they just dominate. So we'll have to see whether Rushmoor can make some adjustments to deal with this offensive line. We'll have Gretzinger out there, Brees out there. They're all going to start and at least play a quarter of football. So you'll see the superstars here on the stream, and if you're in the stands, you'll see them live. And then we'll see if those rotations come in, depending on how this game goes.
So Quinton Wimmer, the meet MVP from last week's game, is back to return. He's alongside Max Holland. They're situated around about the 10-yard line, waiting for the kick. I mean, we're stood here on the sidelines right behind the Rushmoor Knights, and I can tell which way the wind's blowing, Carl. I don't need to be a meteorologist. I don't need to be David Fish. The wind is blowing straight across the field, straight at us.
Yeah, it's straight in your face. That's the way the wind's blowing, Andrew.
Fortunately, there's no cam in the booth. My hairspray efforts won't be critiqued, and we are moments away here from getting the game underway. Ball is up in the air. It's going to be in the direction of Holland. He takes it, fumbles it, and inside the 10, and now he's off up the field, cuts to the left-hand side, pointing at blockers in front. He's got a wall, he's got a lane, he's up to the 40-yard line. There's a flag on the play. It's a great start for the Aztecs as he moves into Rushmoor territory, to the 10-yard line. Into the end zone goes Max Holland, but there's laundry all across the field. We will come back for the call, but at the moment, it's a touchdown to the Aztecs.
What a run back. I mean, that's the worst start that Rushmoor could possibly have, but there are two flags. There's one on the Aztecs 40-yard line, and there's one on the Rushmoor 40-yard line. So we will see what those flags are, but you would expect there'll be a hold somewhere there.
So we saw the holding call from Keith Wickham, didn't pop his microphone on to give us the call, but we can see the offense are staying out. So unfortunately, Max Holland's 89-yard return is going to be taken off the board, and that could have been a meet VP.
A meet VP moment.
Straight away.
Absolutely.
A proper sizzle moment, but we come back. The offense now coming out, and the ball's going to be spotted on. We're just waiting for the referees to get it all situated. The ball's going to be on the 41-yard line. I can see the down boxes, and the down marker man is just gesticulating and then realizing he's wrong. So 31-yard line is where we will be starting. Albert Lambert Jr. presiding over the ball as the umpire on the 31, and the Aztecs come out on offense. Gretzinger has made a fantastic start to the year. 7 touchdowns, 58% completion already, and he lines up in the gun next to Josh Brees. He's got Wimmer and East to his right. There's a pitch sweep to the right for Josh Brees, and he's off to the races straight away. Up the field he goes, past the first down marker, brought down at the 49-yard line. It's about a 17-yard run for Josh Brees.
Yeah, nice little pitch to the right-hand side behind those two big wide receivers. Whilst Wimmer can catch, he can also block, and he's 6'4", he's a big guy, and they're going at pace, Andrew.
Same set, but flipped over. It's Gretzinger, hands it off to Brees. He runs over to the right side again, patiently waiting for blockers. Moving forward, there's going to be a scrum there as he's forced down round about the 53-yard line. Rian Hudson spoke about this in the week. He talked about the no huddle being something that the Aztecs were looking to introduce, and we can see it here. A lot of tempo early doors.
Well, it's the perfect way to start, isn't it? If you want to try something before that blitz game, then do it against Rushmoor. This time Sean Cook in the backfield as well.
Third handoff in a row to Brees. He's got Lewis Thomas in front, but he's met there by the defender. It's Ola Akinsanmi who made the initial contact, and he's brought down. That's going to bring up second down and about 3 yards on the 54-yard line.
Akinsanmi was a highlight last time these two played at the end of May. He was a good pass defender, and he's showing that he can tackle as well.
Remains second down.
So still second down, but a flag on the play there from the Aztecs is going to take them back. So already in the early going, a kick return touchdown brought back for a hold, and we've had another penalty. And Pete Jones has talked a lot about making sure the mental errors aren't there, and that's something straight away that they're going to be kicking themselves about.
Yeah, no, you know, it doesn't matter how good your offense are if you're beating yourselves with penalties. So that's what a lot of yards of penalties already within this Q1, and brings up a 2nd and 7.
So similar set for the Aztecs. Holland and East to the left-hand side. Cook lined up in the King formation with Brees behind Gretzinger. It's another handoff to Brees, who runs right, lowers his shoulder into the contact, gets past the first down line. That's going to move the chains, and the Aztecs are moving again.
Yeah, they pull the right guard on left guard. Sorry, Lewis Thomas pulls round and just delivers a great block to ensure that Brees has that running room. When you've got this sort of offensive line, you've really got to take those boys on at the line of scrimmage.
Gretzinger, 2 throws, a quick screen out to left for Sam East. Quimmer with a heck of a block and a second block, and now it's Sam East in a foot race to the end zone, and it's an Aztecs touchdown straight away. Screenplay there from Gretzinger. Quinton Wimmer with the bulldozer of the blocks, and the Aztecs are on the board, Carl.
Yeah, it's what they call a now screen. If you see that that player is off, then Gretzinger will just get the ball to the receiver, and then just, you know, Wimmer with that great block out front, and Sam East takes it in, a 40-yard touchdown on a quick screen.
Second touchdown of the year for Sam East. He's made his way into the team and now a firm starter in the Aztecs office. Ollie Luck is lining up for the extra point. Chris Green will be on the hold. Snap's good, hold is down. Kick is up, and even with the swirling wind here at Shaftesbury Park, that is through the middle of the uprights and straight away in that first offensive drive. 7-0 to Bristol.
Yeah, and this is going the way the first game did. But Bristol again have come out with a different strategy. It doesn't matter, they're not going to come out and do the same thing. They've gone in that hurry-up offense. They're making Rushmoor think even more. So if they made adjustments, Rushmoor, to take on the same Bristol Aztecs team, they come out and they're doing some different things. And this is what's so dangerous about a team like Bristol. They never stand still. They're always advancing and changing and moving and keeping the Rushmoor and all of their oppositions on their toes.
So it's going to be Rushmoor to receive the kickoff. Saluto and Harvey Macy are back inside their own 10-yard line to receive it. They're kicking towards what I've liked to call the motorway end here, Carl. Do you know why I call it the motorway end?
Go for it.
It's the motorway over there. You can just see it. You can see the cars and everything.
Amazing.
There we go. You learn something every day. I learned that Carl does his scone the wrong way round. We've learned about the motorways. We're learning a lot here at Shaftesbury Park.
I'm slightly worried about the children in those stands when the ball goes over. We'll have to get them some helmets, some Bristol Aztecs helmets.
To be fair, it's worse over there because there's a lot of people's cars in the car park end. So it's going to be Ollie Luck after the extra point. He will set it for the kickoff for Bristol. 2 running backs from the Rushmoor Knights are back to return. And as I say, you might not notice it on the stream, but that heavy gust of wind could play a part. The ball hangs up in the air. It's Macy who collects the ball. He's running up the middle, cuts to the left-hand side. Mets by 2 Aztecs there, and it's going to be first down to Rushmoor at around about the 32-yard line.
Braden Bryce making the tackle, but it was a decent return, I think, from Rushmoor to get them set up. They made some mistakes on kick and kick returning last time, and this is one of the things I want to get right in this game, is just to play some error-free football and really get some consistency going in their drives. But this is the first time we get to see this new quarterback who's from Brunel University. It'll be interesting to see number 13 as he comes out onto the field, Cole McFadden.
Yeah, Cole McFarlane, he helped the Brunel Burners win promotion to the Bucks Premiership. That'll be in September. They line up 2 receivers to the right-hand side and 2 to the left, and McFarlane straight away starts with an option play to Macy out to the right. It's out of bounds at around about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of about 5 or 6. Adam Woodward there really lighting up the quarterback on the option. Just how you'd coach it there, Carl.
Yeah, it was a great tackle on the sideline, but now we're getting a glimpse of what Rushmoor want to do. They've had a couple of weeks to work with this new quarterback coming in. He can clearly run, so more of these option playing, which is really exciting. Hopefully we'll see some run pass as well as the run options.
So doubles on both sides for the Knights once again, with Macy in the pistol behind McFarlane. Snap taken. It's going to be a pass, short pass collected there by the slot receiver on the right-hand side. That's going to move the down marker. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for Rushmoor. Just checking on the receiver there, but a good first couple of plays there for the Rushmoor Knights.
Yeah, and this is what they weren't able to do in the first game, but this first down is going to be critical for them. Let's see if they do move the chains. because that's what Rushmoor couldn't do. They couldn't get those first down, 35 total yards in the last game. They are going to move the change, which will build their confidence in this drive.
Yeah, so first down there for Rushmoor. Nice start to their game here. Handoff taken by McFarlane on the read option. He tries to make something happen, but he's dragged down there by the linebacker Cody Golding, who's come back into the team after being injured in that first Belfast Trojans game. Straight back in, and you can see the aggressiveness that he brings at the linebacker position.
Yeah, it's good to have him back on the team after that injury, and he's made an impact early. Pick up a 3 yards again on that very late quarterback run. The quarterback obviously reading that defensive end. If he crashes down, he'll keep the ball, and he's doing a good job so far. Picks up 3 yards on first down.
So trips to the left-hand side for Rushmoor here. McFarlane takes the snap, rolls to the left, doesn't like what he sees. He will run, brought down once again. Golding and Fofana in on the tackle, and straight away we can see how eager to run Cole McFarlane is against this Bristol defense.
Yeah, that was the game plan coming in for Rushmoor, and I know that on the defensive side, Bristol Aztecs were aware of it, and they were coaching against it. As a defensive line now, what you've got to do is keep that quarterback in the pocket, put a spy on him, make sure you don't overrun when you're trying to get the pressure on him and create those gaps. You want to keep him bottled up, and that's so far on that play, that's what they did.
Rushmoor go back to a 4 receiver set, 2 on each side. McFarlane checking the play there, sees something. He's seen blitz on the line from the Aztecs. People coming through, tries to make the play. He does. The catch is made. It's a screen up the middle to Macy, and what looked like an Aztec sack ends up with a great gain there by the Knights, and they get to move the chains.
That's just a great piece of coaching. They knew the Bristol Aztecs were going to come with the heat on third down. Bristol sends 6, and McFarlane, he's got the confidence to sit back there, take the hit, and loft it over the top. I feel like they maybe could have got more yards if he'd cut to the outside, but we'll see whether they come back to this. First down, Rushmoor.
One thing we know is James Wilford likes to send the blitz pressures. We've seen it already. Didn't work out that time. Snap to McFarlane. He rolls out to the right, signaling to his receivers, pops it over the top. Nobody there for the Rushmoor Knights. Harry Butcher was the intended target, and it brings up second down.
Smart decision from McFarlane, not making a silly mistake. They gave away 4 interceptions in the last game. One of the things they have to do in this game is not have those turnovers if they're going to be able to compete with Bristol. So a smart decision just to throw it out of bounds and live to fight another day, and it brings up a second down chance.
Bill DeMonte beckoning Cole McFarlane over there with the clock stoppage. We've got 9 minutes and 7 seconds left here in the first quarter, and quick opportunity to say that we've had a BAFA representative come to be our clock operator to give those accurate timings for the game. So thank you very much to BAFA as Rushmoor line up on second down. 2 receivers each side of McFarlane with Macy in the backfield. Snap taken, McFarlane drops back. He's got Fofana in his face, has to dodge and then rush. Flicks it over, it's incomplete, and we see that Idrissa Fofana, he is a nuisance in that offensive backfield.
He really is, Fofana, and he's been doing it all season long, and he just beat his man with a little step to the left-hand side. And McFarlane under immediate pressure. When you're under that sort of pressure, you make silly mistakes. He's not done that, but he's had to throw the ball out of bounds twice now on this series of downs.
Richard Jarvis, the intended receiver, he'll be moonlighting as both a receiver and defensive back here, but a good chunk of time for the Knights on offense, and it's always key when you've got a good offense like the Aztecs to keep the defense off the field, keep them fresh, give them a chance when they do actually come on. James Wilford looking to send the pressure once again, but 3 players bailing out at the last moment. Snap to McFarlane. He's got a player in his face, dropping back, heaves it over the air. Again in the direction of Richard Jarvis. There is a flag on the play. We're going to have to see whether there might have been a question of pass interference there, but big call to make here from the BAFA officials.
McFarlane lost his helmet as well on that play. He got blasted by that defense from the Aztecs.
And that's going to bring up an interesting situation. No second quarterback on the roster for the Rushmoor Knights, so they have the option. They can take a timeout. The flag looks like it's being waved off. Salou Toe comes into the backfield to replace McFarlane for a play.
The ball was uncatchable. There is no flag for pass interference.
And so that brings up a 4th down for the Knights. And unfortunately, after such a good, positive opening to the drive, it just shows it needs a little bit more than special plays. It needs a special drive against this Aztecs defense.
Well, it just stalled against that pressure. They had the screen called the first time the pressure was called, but then they did have two drop-back passes, and McFarlane just under far too much pressure for 3 consecutive downs. It's the domination on that defensive line from the Aztecs that put a stop to that drive.
So Max Holland is back on his goal line. It's going to be a short punt situation here for the Knights. Excuse off the punter's boot. That was Harvey Macy once again. He is here, there, and everywhere for the Knights in the early going. Ball goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. The Drummers on the far side, on the home sideline, start up a jig, and the Aztecs come back on the field.
The Aztecs' heartbeat keeps on pumping. That was about a 12-yard punt, so the Rushmoor were on the 40-yard line. I'm not sure whether you'd want to punt in that situation or just try and retain the ball. Even though it's 4th and 10, just chuck it in the end zone and see what you can get. However, Rushmoor choose to punt. They haven't turned the ball over. They didn't score, but they did make a couple of first downs. Gretzinger back on the field.
So Aztecs line up, same starting set with Sean Cook lined up at the H-back position. Brees tight behind Gretzinger in the pistol. It's a handoff to Brees. He's got Sean Cook leading the way, and Brees makes the first person miss. His helmet's come off. He's running without a helmet. The whistle goes, thankfully, there, because that could have been a bit of a situation. James Owen was the first player to make contact with Josh Brees, and we'll just check on what the referees call there with Josh Brees' shiny white helmet flying all over the place.
Yeah, fair play. I think it probably is some sort of face mask. We'll have to see on the replay whether we can catch that. That's where the flag went down.
So
personal foul, face mask by the defense on an attempted tackle. 15 yards, first down. No, the runner can stay in the game because the penalty was the cause of the helmet coming off.
So Sean Vaughan has checked in because of the helmets coming off of Josh Brees. Our head referee there, Keith Withing, explaining that he could have stayed, but they're going to stay with the Cardiff Cobras coach Sean Vaughan in the backfield, and the ball gets moved all the way up to the 48-yard line of the Rushmoor Knights. So first down, and we've had a little bit of movement from the defensive end, a little bit of movement from right guard. Everyone resets, and we will go again here on first down. Snap taken. Vaughan with the play. Right up the middle he goes. Lowers the shoulder. Definitely a different running style of Josh Brees, but there's a flag, and we will check on that before we see what the down and distance will be.
Yeah, far side of the field flag looked like a twitch.
Illegal formation, 5 men on the in the backfield on the offense. 5 yards, remains first down.
So illegal procedure penalty there for the Aztecs, something that Rian Hunson and Pete Jones on the sideline not going to be too pleased with. It gives them a 1st and 15 and gives this Rushmoor defense something to maybe dial up a blitz or a little bit of pressure for their car.
Yeah, they got Bristol behind the sticks, albeit through penalties. So now what can you do? You have to find a way to stop this offensive line. So sending blitzes, taking some risks on defense, and just trying to predict what this offense is going to do.
So it's Wimmer singled up on the left-hand side of Gretzinger. Brees in the backfield once again now that his helmet's been returned to him. It's a handoff to Brees on the right-hand side. Makes a sharp cut through the middle, and he's off to the races into the Rushmoor defensive backfield. He goes, makes the yardage back, makes a first down. Ball is going to be spotted at around about the 30-yard line. Check that, make that probably the 27. Huge first down run there by Josh Brees.
The skill that Brees has got, the Virginia native, is just being able to break
snap
tackles.
Here, Gretzinger back. He's going to take a shot. He's going to find Wimmer over the top into the end zone. He goes. He finds his favorite target. The Pomona Pizza is up for the touchdown. Touchdown, Aztecs.
The meat VP from last week strikes early in this one as well. Wimmer with another great catch. He's so tall, I mean, you could just throw it in his general direction. He's got that wingspan to pull it down. Touchdown, Aztecs.
Once again, the no-huddle offense for the Aztecs there. Carl was in the middle of his analysis, doing a great job, may I say. And then, next thing you know, the ball's been snapped, and it's a touchdown, and it's a 2-score game here as Ollie Luck lines up for the extra point. Chris Green once again on the hold. The snap is good, the hold is good, the ball's up.
There's a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play. The kick was good, but we will check with our officials as to...
By defence, you wanted to decline for... Thank you. He's saying decline. By the defence, the penalty's declined, score is good.
So the kick was good, and that is going to be 14-0 to the Aztecs, and our Meet It VP, Quentin Wimmer, once again with the score. Just to fill everybody in on what we're talking about, if you are new to our Aztec stream, our Meat VP is sponsored by New Manor Farm Shop. They're an award-winning farm shop, butchers, cafe, and they're open 7 days a week. They rear beef, they have sheep, pigs, all to high welfare standards, and they're also leading the way in sustainable British farming. So at the end of today's game, we select one Aztecs player as the New Manor Farm Shop Meat VP, and they receive a butcher's gift basket worth £50. And talking about Aztecs of past and old, Matt Vanstone of the Aztecs youth. I used to play youth football with Matt Vanstone back in 2007, Carl. That's
Amazing,
how old I
Andrew.
am.
Well, it's good to have those people here watching the game as well. So much, what Bristol are doing here is building a community of American football down here, and they've been doing it for years, and it's just taken another step up this season. But we see a lot of familiar faces when we're down here, but also a lot of youth and young people coming into the Bristol Aztecs through that university scheme.
So Macy and Toe are back. It's a short kick, bounces at the 20-yard line. Macy picks it up, makes a man miss. Really nice move there, but he's brought down. Billy Elliott on the tackle there for the Bristol Aztecs. It was another good kick return by Macy. He's had a really strong start to this game. Ball's going to be spotted around about the 38-yard line of Rushmoor. First down.
It looks like Aztecs were just trying to do something a little bit different on special teams. Rather than kick it deep, they just kick it behind that first line of Rushmoor, trying to get them to make a mistake. But as you say, they've been mistake-free so far on these kick returns, which is good to see.
So the chains will move. They'll set this at about the 39-yard line. So again, second drive in a row, Rushmoor come out with good field position. Sometimes you see when it's a bit of an imbalance between teams, they're stuck in their 20, they can't do much, but really good starting position here for McFarlane. Once again, he takes a snap, drops back, gets the ball out of his hands really quick. It's a catch over the middle to Justin Schwertner, and that's going to be good for about 8 yards for the Knights.
Yeah, it was a nice job. They're just taking what the defense give him, get him on the slant. Don't try and do anything silly. Don't try and get everything back all at once. Just take the yards that you're given, and that's a really nice drive starter from McFarlane. Fred Smith was the covering linebacker.
So second down and 3 for the Knights here. We've seen Macy featuring very heavily for them in the early running. McFarlane as well, very lively with his legs. Snap to Macy. Read option once again. He tries to get away there, but chased down by Trafford Alley on the backside. Tackles him in the backfield, and that's going to bring up a third down and 5 for the Knights.
Trafford Alley just too fast out of his stance, just takes a step. You'll see him right there on the edge. He manages to get a stiff arm of that left tackle, and then he's got the speed as well to track McFarlane down. So Trafford Alley with a great sack. Had 5 sacks last time these two teams played. That's the first one in the books.
So 6 minutes and counting here in the first quarter. 3rd and 5 for the Knights here. They line up 2 receivers either side of McFarlane. Snap back, people in the backfield straight away. Schwertner with the ball. Chris Arena wraps him up straight away, but on that hitch route, looks like it's good enough for a Knights first down. There's definite signs of life in the Rushmoor Knights offense here, Carl.
Justice Schwertner is the receiver on this tall receiver, and that's a really well delivered ball. And you can see he's got some size as well. Doesn't break the tackle. Safe hands for Chris Arena to drag him down.
Yeah, you can tell I've been doing the GB versus Germany game. I'm okay with my German pronunciations and different uses of the consonants. It's a first down for the Knights. Read option once again. McFarlane out to the left-hand side. Arena tries to make the tackle, but he's out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. Make that the 43-yard line, 44, brings up second down for the Knights.
Yeah, you know, it's another positive down. It's 5 yards. So, you know, Rushmoor not doing anything too exciting, but they're playing consistent offensive football. They're keeping the ball safe. They're moving it on the ground, and they've had a couple of receptions now. So this is a very different looking Rushmoor team this week.
Just under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Second down and 7 for the Knights as they line up trips to the right-hand side of McFarlane. Snap taken, it's a rollout to the right-hand side. He sets up to pass over the head of Tom Seeger, but over the head of the Rushmoor Knights receiver as well. And it brings up another key third down for Phil de Monte's offense.
Trying to get the ball out to Val Giorgio are the Rushmoor Knights, but unfortunately when they rolled out, the Aztecs had sent a blitz right into the rollout, so it didn't give McFarlane too much time to get that ball out. I had to get rid of it.
And as the band start making noise, it's a really good time for the patrons here at Shaftesbury Park to add to the noise as well. You know that James Wilford likes to bring pressure. I've coached against Carl Walkinshaw, and I know that on this kind of down, he'll be bringing every linebacker and corner under the sun. Big pressure down here for Carl McFarlane. Snaps taken, drops back to pass. Over the top it goes, it's complete and caught. A great catch under pressure there for the Rushmoor Knights. It moves the chains, and it's a huge play there for...
Yeah, I think it's Val Giorgio that picked that one up, Andrew. And it's a really great play on third down. I mean, Aztecs bought 4, they dropped the rest. McFarlane just sits in there, but it was a really accurately thrown football. And Rushmoor Knights now knocking on the red zone door.
And you picked up on it after that first drive. What are we going to do against the pressure on third down? Really nice play call, and now the Knights are cooking in Aztecs territory. McFarlane just takes a second there. Looks like he's trying to change the play. Takes the snap. It's going to try and be a quick pass out to the left-hand side. He didn't like what he saw, and now he's running. He's past the first down marker, over to the right-hand side. Tackled there by Javier Laidley on the far side. Brings up a first down, and what an off-play, off-script moment there by Carl McFarlane. Wanted the quick pass, scrambles out to the right. Makes a huge gain, Carl.
Yeah, he done a really nice job. James Wilford not going to be happy with that, because the Aztecs talked about keeping McFarlane in the pocket. They knew that he wants to get to the edge, and he shows he's got good wheels when he needs to. Puts the Rushmoor Knights in a great position. First down, 11-yard line.
So they line up on the right hash with trips to the right-hand side. Only one receiver on the left. That's Schwertner manned up against Chris Arena for the Aztecs. It's a pitch over to the left. Macy now off to the race. He's got Schwertner on the block. He's making players miss as he is brought down for about a 2 or 3 yard gain. He had Dan Hatcher out in front on the block as well, but the Aztecs able to corral him and get there.
They're going to be generous on the spot of the ball on this. Again, that pitch out to Harvey Macy, really working well. The trouble that James Wilford's got is that, you know, you didn't see any of this last game. They didn't have the run option. They didn't have the American quarterback. This is all new for the Aztecs. So in terms of their defensive adjustments, they need to make them quickly in order to ensure that they're not going to get caught out on these run options, that they've got someone on the quarterback and they've also got someone on the running back so they can make the tackle if that pitch takes place.
So second down and 6 for the Knights. McFarlane drops back. He's got lots of Aztecs in his face. Hoiks it over the top. He had a chance there. Harvey Macy on the wheel route, but under pressure, forced an errant pass. There was a real chance of a touchdown there for the Knights. Brings up third down.
Definitely, and he had absolutely the right instincts. You know, roll it out, and then he did have a receiver that would have to run underneath the ball, but he didn't want to put that ball in a place where it could have been intercepted. This is a real chance now for Rushmoor, and Rushmoor don't know how many opportunities they're going to have in the Bristol Aztecs red zone, because James Wilford will start making those adjustments. The more he sees of this offense, the more he'll learn, the more adjustments he'll make. So this is the real chance now for the Rushmoor Knights to see if they can put one in.
Yeah, massive change from last week's game. I've got my producer Tom in my ear, and he has been saying, oh, it's a completely different team from 2 weeks ago. Really showing here. 3 receivers to the left-hand side. Trips tight for the Knights. It's McFarlane who was looking for the option. tries to throw it, and it's an errant pass. It's Billy Elliott who takes the ball. He flips it. It's on the floor, and it's going to be a melee on the floor. Elliott had pitched it in the direction of Fofana. Fofana looks at him and goes, "What are you doing?" And I think that might be a Rushmoor ball.
I think there's a knight at the bottom of that part. At least there was. It looked like he dived on it. Well, have a look at this on that. That's a crazy one.
But it does look like Idrissa Fofana came up with it. It is an Aztecs ball, and it's heartbreak for the Knights. Cole McFarlane trying to make something work on third down, and it goes calamitously wrong.
Well, we talked about the adjustments that the Aztecs would need to make to this pitch. And, you know, they want to use this run option. Okay, well, then what the Aztecs will do is they'll get someone on the quarterback, and then they'll have another linebacker right there, Billy Elliott, just waiting for the pitch out. And unfortunately, McFarlane just drops it right in his lap. What Billy Elliott's doing pitching it back there, I have no idea. Is that in the defensive scheme?
He's played too much Madden, too much NCAA football. It's all fun and games when it's on the controller, not so much in real life. But
he got away with one, didn't he, there?
He absolutely did, and the Aztecs take over on their own 10-yard line. Braden Bice checks into the game, switches across the formation, and now leads the play for Brees. He makes the lead block, and Brees up to the first down marker. There's a scrum of Knights, but it looks like that's going to be good for an Aztecs first down.
I love watching Brees run, you know. He's got, when he gets hit, you'll see on the play, when he gets hit, he's got that spin move there, but then as the Rushmoor come in, watch the way this pile moves. It moves more yards for Brees. He's so strong as well. It's very rare you get a running back with that sort of strength and that sort of skill.
Wimmer and East come over to the right-hand side of the formation with Holland over on the left. Snap taken, it's a pitch to the left, and Brees has another chance to make yards into the Rushmoor defense. He gains about 5 yards there, and once again, it's the Josh Brees show here in the first quarter for the Aztecs.
It's going to be a humdinger of an MVP discussion, I think, Andrew, this season. You've got Wimmer, Brees, Gretzinger, and a bunch of others as well, not just the American talent, but a bunch of homegrown talent as well chasing it. But it's exciting to watch with so many people, so many Aztecs when they get the ball in their hands. So exciting to watch.
Under 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. Tom Bowering has checked into the game. 2 receivers either side of Gretzinger, and he sets up the throw over to the left. It's Bowering with his first catch of the game over the first down marker, up to the 38-yard line. That's going to move the chains.
Yeah, it's just a simple play. They just run a high-low where they send a receiver deep, puts the cornerback in a bit of a bind, and they hit the player, they hit the receiver underneath.
And that is going to be it for the first quarter. So whilst we have a moment as the ball is turned over and both teams swap sides, Katie alluded to it in the pre-game. We have been able to partner with Pick 6, a fantastic Instagram and website. And we're going to send it down to Katie on the sideline to talk about one of those MVP candidates.
Thanks, guys. If you want to talk dominance, then Ethan Gretzinger is just simply leading the league with 621 passing yards and 7 touchdowns. That stat really sets him apart in his efficiency. He's averaging a massive 10.7 yards per play, completely gapping the rest of the league. He isn't just moving the chains, he is chunking up that defense with every single throw. Back up to you guys to talk about how the Rushmoor Knights defense even begins to slow that down.
Thank you very much, Katie. Well, I know that John Gruden used to call Peyton Manning the sheriff. I'm going to call Ethan the general. I think he's the general out there for the Aztecs. He makes it all work, and he's able to marshal the talents that they've got at their disposal.
Does he know you want to call him the general? Have you had this discussion with him?
I haven't. I've just come up with it, if I'm perfectly honest.
So you're just doing it on the spur of the moment?
I have, and if the Aztec social media crowd
want to... There's so many other names you could call him.
Yeah, but Gretzinger General, there's alliteration. I like the way it sounds. It has connotations of control. I like it. I think it could work.
Let's see if it catches on.
Wait till he throws a touchdown pass, and let's see how it sounds. I think it'll sound really good. So we've got a quick stoppage here in the play, but Keith Wickham has now blown us in, and we are good to go. First down for the Aztecs on the 39-yard line. Snap taken, it's a play fake, and now Gretzinger is going to have his own go at running the read option. He's seen McFarlane do it, he's going to have a go. He makes about 12 yards on the rush, brings up a first down.
Anything you can do, says Gretz, and he takes the run himself. You know, a lot of people, they don't see Gretz as a dual threat, Gretzinger, but I really do. He scores a lot of touchdowns with his legs, and he really has a quick turn of pace when he gets the ball in his hands. That time, when you've got Brice, the defense has to honor the fact that Brice might keep the ball, and off Gretzinger goes.
So first down right on the 50-yard line for the Aztecs. Trips to the left-hand side with Bowering, East, and Max Holland. Wimmer is singled alone on the right-hand side of the formation. Gretzinger rolls out to the left-hand side, steps himself up. He's going long. He's looking for Holland. Over the top he goes, but out of bounds is the throw. And taking a shot there on first down.
That's not the defensive back I would pick on. That's Ola Akinsami, who was in coverage, and he was the best of the defensive backs that we saw from Rushmoor. Got good speed, and he didn't do the stupid thing. He didn't lose his head and get a flag. He actually played it really well. So nice, tight coverage. Gretzinger will have to go in a different direction.
Bice checks back into the game alongside Henry Marsh for the Aztecs, and when Braden Bice is in the game, there's normally some heavy power run blocking going on. So 2nd and 10 for the Aztecs here. Snap taken, it's out to the left-hand side to East. He's got a Wimmer block, and off Sam East goes. He makes one man miss, but it's the second tackler who brings him down. Could have been a huge gain otherwise. It's Torrin Bent, 20 tackles already on the season for the Knights, but that brings up another big first down for the Aztecs. And when Quinton Wimmer's blocking, you know you're running.
Look at this block. You'll just see it on top of your screen right there on Akinsami, who's the defensive back, who just made a play. And I thought there that East was going to break all 3 of those tackles. That's some good work as a unit to bring him down, but still a 15-yard gain, Andrew.
Yeah, that was the play that scored the touchdown in the first quarter, and now the Aztecs have first down. It's Wimmer on the jailbreak screen. There's 2 linemen. There's Thomas and Banks out in front, and it's Wimmer all the way down to the 1-yard line. We know that Rian Hudson loves to call that jailbreak screen, and we got Keanu Ebanks and Lewis Thomas out in front. It definitely is going to work quite well.
If you're a defender at Rushmoor, which one of those guys do you take on to try and get to the ball carrier? I mean, it is literally rabbit in the headlights when you see those guys coming in. They're so great, and they're so quick downfield as well. They are athletes. Ebanks and Thomas, and Wimmer thought he was going to take that one in, but it's a saving tackle for Rushmoor. Now back to the action, 2 yards out to go, Andrew.
Nick Radley checks in as the ineligible tight end. Chris Green is in the game as well. Started on the left-hand side, over to the right. Looks like a bit of a wildcat formation for the Aztecs down here at the goal line. Brice takes a snap, thinks about throwing. Instead, he runs behind the wall of Aztecs linemen, and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Aztecs!
Key block there from Nick Radley to take Brice in, and they did the wildcat in the last game against Rushmoor, done it again. It seems to be an option that they like to use. They're very close to the end zone. Why not just waste time giving it to Gretzinger, snap it straight to Brice, and get behind that powerful offensive line. 3 scores up.
And it's not just Nick Radley, it's Sean Cook, it's Sean Vaughan as well. The power and the strength on that left-hand side for Brice. It was, even I might have been able to score that, Carl, and I'm no athlete, I tell you that for free, as the snap is down. Ollie Look kicks it into the car park, it goes, bounces off what looks like a car bonnet, and it is 21-0 to the Aztecs.
Where did you park, Andrew? I think that was yours.
Really far away, really far away. I'm no Muppets.
Motorway side.
Yeah, exactly. I had my chauffeur bring me. How did you get here?
Oh, a helicopter.
Oh, right, yeah.
Didn't you know that was a new addition? Anyway, the Aztecs now 3 scores up. They put 5 touchdowns on the board in Q1 last time these 2 teams met. And despite the fact that Rushmoor are playing better, the scoreline doesn't reflect it at all.
No, absolutely. Rushmoor have been really good in their 2 drives. They got into the red zone on their last drive, and we had that hot potato situation. They've been moving the ball, and they've been giving James Wilford problems in calling the plays and calling the right plays as well.
But he's so quick, he's so smart, James, in terms of the quick adjustment that he made to get that turnover when they got Aztecs actually covering that pitch. And a little bit of pressure, and that was the key mistake. But I think that was the Rushmoor's chance to get into the end zone. They're now going to have to adjust. And the problem you've got with a team that is in transition like this is how much training time do you actually have with them? Because you've got some plays in there, but how much depth do you have?
Macy takes the kickoff on the 15-yard line, cuts into the middle, bounces it to the left-hand side. He's trying to find the corner, moves up to the 35-yard line. There's an injured Aztec down on the field. That looks like Billy Elliott, the recipient of that turnover on the last offensive drive. So we're going to take a little second here, and he will get some treatment. Sorry, George Rhymes there on the ground there for the Aztecs. I think that might have been George Rhymes actually earlier in the game.
It's Rhymes in number 4, and we've been saying Billy Elliott, and it is George Rhymes that got, you're absolutely right, that got the pitch that went, I guess it was an interception. I guess you call it an interception because it's a kind of forward pass, but it was a running play. But George Rhymes having a great game, so sad to see him down. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah, here's us slating Billy Elliott. He was a completely different player.
Billy, if you're listening, we're very sorry.
I know, I do apologise. I'll get you a Diet Coke in the bar after the game. So, got a moment here. And whilst we do have a moment, just a chance to let everybody know that Circular Waste Solutions will be sponsoring our stream here today. They get expert waste management services, consultancy, training and temporary staffing for environmental and waste roles that are tailored to businesses of all sizes. You can get in contact with them via email at office@circularws.co.uk or by phone at 01792 962 703. So Aztecs are out on defense. The Knights are ready to go once again on offense. And a little bit more field and a lot more distance to go this time than compared to the last 2 offensive drives. Snap taken, McFarlane steps back, he's got pressure, he's got Golding in his face, but he's able to scramble out, beckoning to his receivers, makes a man miss, makes a second man miss, but then brought down on the 41-yard line.
This McFarlane's exciting to watch, and I'm really enjoying it. He gets the first down out of absolutely nothing. They bring the B-gap blitz, and it's Fred Smith that comes right up the middle, but McFarlane's got the feet to get out of that pocket and to the sideline for a gain of 11 yards. James Wilford, the DC for the Aztecs, he's dropping players back, he's sending different blitzes. It's hard for McFarlane to see what's going on, but he knows he can trust his feet, and that's what he's doing on these plays.
Yes, you don't know what's going to happen, but you know it's going to be exciting either way for the Knights. Here, just a straight handoff to Macy, but straight away tackled down there by the Bristol Aztecs defensive lineman. It's
Ramari Bennett coming in on the tackle, and it was a really nice tackle, but that's what you do against Bristol. If you just run a play, a simple kind of running play, they are going to be so dominant on that defensive line that they're just going to take you for a loss of yards, which is why they're doing these different things with the run options and McFarlane being an option to keep the ball himself. Straight up running plays like that, they're just not going to work against this defensive line. They're just going to eat them up.
So Ramari Bennett was a little bit ginger there after the play. He goes to the sideline for a little bit of attention, as does Harvey Macy, who was slow to get up, and he's been such an important part of the Knights offense. Sorry, yeah, the Knights offense in the early going. So hopefully he is able to get back onto the field.
Yeah, it was a collision in that backfield. Both of them looked like they just landed awkwardly. They're going to bring the Knights are going to bring in Tolu onto their into their backfield, and he was their player of the month for May. Was Sal Tolu, so he's a good running back in his own right. We'll see what he can do in the second 15.
So 11.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. 21-0 to the Bristol Aztecs in the early going. A comfortable start here, and it's second down on about 15 for the Knights. Snap taken, it's McFarlane again. He's got pressure, throws as he is hit. It was intended for Justin Schwertner, just too low for him to corral, and it brings up a long third down for the Knights.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit more time, McFarlane, to be able to complete this pass. But again, the pressure coming in that time from Kieran Hopley, who had a great game last week against Rushmoor, and but he had an open man there, Andrew. You know, Rushmoor receivers are finding space
And this is it, something we talked to James Wilford about when we did his X's and O's a month or so ago, so long ago since we had a home game. When he brings pressure, he likes to sit in coverage, and there are going to be holes to take advantage of, and McFarlane has done a good job looking for them and trying to find them. Very close in that instant to making a completion. Third down and a long way for the Knights here as the Aztecs hound McFarlane in the backfield. Woodward has got a hand on him. He drags him down in the backfield. It's a sack for Adam Woodward, with Idrissa Fofana finishing off there, and that brings up 4th down.
Yeah, 3rd and 15. They're running players down the field. The coverage is good down the field, and McFarlane's got nowhere to go, and then suddenly it collapses around him. And even he didn't have those quick reactions to get out of the pocket at that time. Coach will be happy with that one. They kept him contained in the pocket, and they get the 2nd sack of the game to bring up this long 4th down.
Ryan Woodhouse will be back to punt for the Rushmoor Knights. Max Holland is all the way back on his 20-yard line to receive, and the 2nd punt for Rushmoor here. And there's a lot more space, and that wind is still howling around Shaftesbury Park here, so there could be something going on with that punt, but we will see here as the snap is taken cleanly. Away is the punt to the left-hand side. Holland lets it bounce. Out of bounds it goes. I try to sell that up as in a moment, and it just goes out of bounds harmlessly.
Yeah, well, you don't know what's going to happen, Andrew, but it's a decent kick. Not massive, but that wind is affecting the ball in the air. Aztecs back on the field. That time it felt like, you know, that kind of death grip that the defense had on Rushmoor last time really started to take hold. So Gretzinger back on the field.
10 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter for the Aztecs. Another opportunity to put points on the board. Somebody we haven't mentioned here is the new starting right tackle for the Aztecs, Brice Engard, the former Berlin Rebel, who got 4 rings at the University of West England, and that powerhouse Bucks team playing right guard and doing very well in his first start as Brice takes the handoff behind the block of Engard, and he's able to cut upfield, met by 3 Knights there, and then brought down for the tackle. It's Nusi Camden, one of the Knights, number 93, there. Makes about 9 yards, brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, if you look at the stats for the Aztecs, they're averaging about 7 yards per play for the season, which is an incredible statistic. And again, you can see on 1st down, Brice just carving it up the middle. 9 yards again on 1st down to make this. I mean, Gretzinger's got the whole playbook for himself now. Can do whatever he likes on 2nd down.
Adam Eckhart has checked into the game, number 87, the Cardiff defensive end. He was leading there, but it's going to be a quick run pass option. Sam East took the quick hitch. That's over 1st down yardage, but there is a flag on the play, so we will wait and see on the flag there.
5 men in the backfield against the offense. 5 yards, remains 2nd down.
2nd time that call has been made by the head referee, Keith Wickham. So once again, a procedural penalty for the Aztecs negates positive yardage and puts them back from 2nd and about 2 yards. It's going to be about 2nd and 7 now for them, and gives Rushmoor's defense another chance.
It's an odd one as well, isn't it? Because Bristol not running any really new formations, so you wonder why. Keith Wickham, been the referee, knows the formations of the team, so they'll have to adjust that at half-time.
2 receivers over to the right-hand side. Holland is singled here on the left. Gretzinger back to pass, rolls out to the right-hand side, tries to avoid the rush. The ball is out. It's collected by the Rushmoor Knights, and Camden is off to the races, down inside the 5-yard line. The ball comes out again. I think he might have been down by contact. We're waiting for the call, but it's a huge play for the Knights, and everything is going on over there.
Well, it's an incredible play by the Rushmoor Knights. They come off the back edge.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was just short of the goal line, but it will be a 1st down.
Huge play by the Rushmoor Knights.
The ruling on the field was the runner was down the 1-yard line. Will be a 1st down to the Knights.
Ethan Gretzinger was rolling out. He was trying to make a play happen there.
Yeah, you'll see it on the instant replay. Watch the right-hand side of this line. What he's trying to get the ball to Brice, but the coverage is really good, and then the Rushmoor Knights arrive. Gretzinger doesn't really see them, and then it's just a heads-up play from the Rushmoor Knights to get the ball taken all the way close to that goal line.
James Owen made the fumble there for the Knights. Nusi Camden collected it, and now it's 1st and goal for the Rushmoor Knights. No more than 3 yards to go here for their offense. It's a low snap. McFarlane takes it. He's heading for the pylon, met by 2 Aztecs, just short there.
That's tough to try and beat the Aztecs around the edge. Something that they'll be looking at, and it's just a race to the edge in this play. You'll see it. What great camera work we've got here. Race between defense and the quarterback, and the defense wins that one, slings him out of bounds. They'll have to think again.
So we've got an injured player down on the ground on that huge goal line stand. A Rushmoor player is down, so we will take a second. But Carl, you were here. You weren't here. You were in Rushmoor 2 weeks ago. But you were at Rushmoor 2 weeks ago. Seeing this team now, the second time around, it must be night and day difference.
Totally different team. And they've come here just to compete. They've said, all right, well, we'll see what we can do. We've had 2 weeks to put something together. They've come with a completely different offense. They've come with a run option. They weren't doing that. Their quarterback is totally different. And you build your offensive scheme around the quarterback that you had. They had Painter last time, who was more of a kind of pocket passer. McFarlane can do the running. So why not build your offense around him and see whether you can get the Aztecs off balance?
So the injured Rushmoor Knight is now back on his feet, which is excellent to see, and there's going to be another pitched stand here. There's no more than 2 yards to go, and it's you know that Rushmoor, after the tribulations of 2 weeks ago, they would love nothing better than to get points on the board. It's Dawson Merritt who is back up on his feet for the Knights. So they will replace an offensive lineman there, and it's going to be back to the wall time once again for the Aztecs defense.
It will be, but this is a great test for the Aztecs. They have to be in these positions with teams that can compete against them, and now they get to test whether they can make a goal line stand. They've got 2 downs to go.
Saluto in the backfield next to Cole McFarlane. Our referee just checking with, and it's going to be under center. It's going to be a touch push, but the ball's out. It's a fumble. It's gone. It's an Aztecs ball, and off to the races. They go. The Rushmoor Knights had the ball at the 2-yard line, but it's Fred Smith who houses it from the 2 all the way down, and a touchdown, Aztecs.
Wow, they just flipped the field. You do not do that against the Aztecs defensive tackles. They absolutely collapsed the center.
There are coaches. There are coaches on the field. There are flags flying everywhere.
You'll see in the replay. We'll come back live action in a second. But it's like just going into a wall of Aztecs, and that orange wall is the ball that comes out. It's Hastings that picks it up and takes it all the way back. There's an injured Rushmoor player on the field as well. You can see how the Aztecs defense just collapsed that Rushmoor line. And Holland just with the speed, no one's going to catch him. 99 yards on the fumble recovery for a touchdown, and it's absolute chaos here, but they are going to line up, it looks like, for the extra point, Andrew.
Yeah, so we're talking about sizzle plays. I think Fred Smith there with a 99-yard fumble return might definitely be in the running for it, but I think one thing that does need to be talked about was the Aztec sideline clearing in that situation.
Right, okay.
And
so guys, do you want it now or on the kickoff? On the kickoff, please. You got on the kickoff, that's fine. Okay.
So there is going to be a personal foul against the Aztecs. That'll be enforced on the kickoff. So the extra point will be spotted as normal on the 4-yard line, it looks. But Pete Jones needs to keep control of his staff. His sideline is just vacating.
Well, everyone gets excited. But we talked about, the need to make a goal line stand. That's how you do it on second down. You just get the ball back for your team. Obviously, you can't plan those sort of splash defensive plays, but they scored on defense last time they played Rushmoor, and they've done it again. We'll get a number check for you, whether it's Billy Elliott or whether it's Fred Smith. We will check, but I think maybe, Andrew, you're right. It is
So
Fred
just to
Smith.
confirm,
We'll check on the replay.
the score was good. There was an unsportsmanlike act by James Wilf, coach, and the other sub-coaches, 15 yards, and that'll be on the kickoff.
So 2 weeks ago, I made the point that James Wilford wasn't even the most talented Wilford in the family after Rose got her first GB cap, and now on the stream, James Wilford with the personal foul.
He's the most unruly, I'll tell you that.
So Ollie Luck is setting up for the extra point. It's a high snap. Chris Green has had to scramble here, looking for an option, throws it to the right-hand side, but it's intercepted, and now it's going back the other way. It's a huge play. The pick 2 for the Rushmoor Knights. That's number 11 for the Knights, James Owen. He made a fumble earlier in the quarter and now returns the extra point for 2.
It's gone. It's end-to-end action. None of the Rushmoor Knights players rush the field there. That's how to conduct yourself. You see, you just stay nice and calm and let your player take it into the end zone, Coach Wilford. But yeah, a great play, and they score. They get on the board. You know, it's no longer a duck for them. They get 2 points.
I don't know what I'm seeing here, Carl. This is not the football that I've become accustomed to in Britain. We've had a fumble return for 99 yards. We've had a pick 2 for about 90 yards as well. The band's playing, the drums are going. What is going on, Carl?
Well, anything can happen on any given play, right? So it's dead. I mean, it's real fun as well to be. It's great to see the Rushmoor Knights competing. The Aztecs are going to love it. They don't want to go into it. They want a competition every single week to the Aztecs because they want to get better as the season progresses. So this is great from Rushmoor that they're giving them a game, and fair play to them scoring on the 2-pointer. They're not quitting on any play, including these special teams plays. They're fighting for everything.
And it comes back to something that you said in the pre-game with Katie. It's the second half of their season. They've got games against Wembley, against Cambridge as well, that they're going to want to really be competitive for, because there's relegation that is in peril at the bottom of the Premiership. So they don't want to be in a position where they're just rolling over and showing their belly.
Yeah, you know, coach has come in and he's got hold of them and said, look, we need to change our identity. We need to change what they're doing. They've transitioned quickly. I don't know what they've done in the last 2 weeks, but they've got a scheme put in there. They've attracted some new players. They've maybe got rid of some old players that were kind of maybe holding them back. You don't know, but they're looking good today.
So the kick is short, taken by Schwertner up the middle, met by 2 Aztecs. Over the 50-yard line he went. It's going to be spotted around about the 54-yard line. I was about to say that Cole McFarlane, the quarterback, was back for the kick return alongside Saluto. Thankfully, he didn't get the ball there, and he is able to give his gloves to the glove man on the sideline for the Rushmoor Knights and comes back on at quarterback.
Yeah, he's back, and it's another short kick on those special teams. So I'm not quite sure what the Aztecs are trying to do there, just trying to pitch it behind that first line. But twice they've done that, and it's giving Rushmoor Knights some good field position already into the Aztecs half.
Yes, unfortunately, we had the Aztecs X's and O's segment ready to go with special teams coordinator Jim Powell-Cullingford, and it was a really nice piece about punt, which we will be looking to play at some point either today or in next week's game, but not what he's been looking for on the last 3 kick returns there as Rushmoor set up on the 44-yard line of the Aztecs. It's McFarlane who rolls to the right, pitches it to Saluto, who lowers a shoulder, able to gain a few yards there. It was Smith and Tom Seeger on the tackle, brings up second down.
Yeah, McFarlane's he's acting as a bit of a decoy on this. They've got the pitch. The Aztecs are so quick, you can see through that B gap. They're all over him very, very quickly. So having the option to pitch it out to Solu, that's exactly what you need. And it means that they're keeping positive yardage going. They pick up again. Well, it's a long 3, I think, there, Andrew. So, you know, they're still in front of the sticks.
Charlie Dace and Adam Woodward check onto the field for the Aztecs as they rotate that defensive line. Always handy when you've got about 13 defensive linemen to use to keep people fresh and keep that pressure on Cole McFarlane here on second down. Linebackers walking up to the line as McFarlane takes the ball. Out to the right-hand side he goes. The pass is incomplete on the right side. Harry Butcher, the intended target, and that's going to bring up about 3rd and 7. And talking about rotations, Romari Bennett and Adrissa Forfana come on for this key 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's what the Aztecs are good, because they've got the depth of squad. They've also got the depth of talent. You know, the backups come in, but there's no drop in the standard that this defensive line will bring. And when you're able to keep your defensive line fresh all the time like that, you know they come in 100% every single down. McFarlane's got a challenge here now. He did manage to convert one with his feet. He also has managed to convert a 3rd down through the air. So he's got choices, but let's see what Coach Wilford dials up here in terms of pressure.
As long as James Wilford stays on the sideline, the Bristol Aztecs will be happy here on third down. McFarland drops back, throws over the middle. It's into the hands and out of Tom Seeger. He is going to be ruining that opportunity for the interception. It was straight down his throat, incomplete, and it brings up fourth down.
It's the pressure that causes the near interception here again. You can see the pressure there coming from that defensive line, and Tom Seeger, who got an interception in the last game against Rushmoor, doesn't manage to pick that one off, but just the pressure from Fofana and others is just relentless.
So Max Holland comes on for the punt return for the Aztecs. Wasn't able to return the last one as it bounced out of bounds. And again, Rushmoor, given good field position, made some splashes, there were some sparks, but it's just not enough to put together a full drive for them here. As the whistles blow, we have a timeout for Rushmoor, and as we look at the clock, we've got about 6 3/4 minutes left. And Carl, this is your first time at a home game. You know what we've got to come at half-time?
Surprise me, Andrew.
It's the Nando's kicking competition.
Wow, I can't wait for that. I'll tell you what, the entertainment down here is second to none. Bristol Aztecs really putting on a show.
6:44, 6 minutes 44 seconds, first time out.
So not only
Rushmoor.
will Katie take some patrons here of Shaftesbury Park onto the field to take on a 30-yard field goal, but she's also managed to convince somebody to dress up in this heat in a Nando's chicken outfit, and they must be sweltering because it is warm.
I saw them earlier trying to get down the stairs in the Nando outfit. I'm not sure they cut any eye holes in that thing.
So timeout has been completed here, so please do stick around on the stream at half-time. Snap is good, the kick is away, it's shanked off of the boots, taken by that wind as well. Still blustery and blowing here at Shaftesbury Park. It's going to be fantastic starting field position for the Aztecs. Ball went out of bounds at the 40, no more than about 10 yards on the punt.
It's Ryan Woodhouse, who's an offensive lineman on the punting juice. He's just slapped his own helmet. He's frustrated with that. He's had some difficulty punting. They've been pretty good on special teams in terms of the kick returns and kick coverage, but they've not been great with the punts. That's something for Rushmoor to work on, because it gives Gretzinger and the Aztecs great field position to start again.
So Ethan Gretzinger back on after the error on his last drive. Tommy Drain Weeks has checked into the game at wide receiver for the Aztecs. Eckhart leading for Brees there as Brees takes the handoff. Off to the races he goes, up the right-hand side, makes the first down. He's got the block off Wimmer. There is a flag on the play, but as Brees beats everyone to the end zone, at the moment it's a touchdown, but there is a flag on the 41-yard line. Ethan Gretzinger's got his hands on his hips, and if I'm going to put 10p on it, is this going to be procedures again?
Holding, defense number 58. 10 yards, still first down.
So that's Brees Ingard, the right tackle, who we made reference to earlier.
The penalty was on the offense, Bristol 58.
Not on the procedure as I predicted, but it's a hold, and that was a huge play for Josh Brees that comes back. That's gutting for him.
Yeah, I mean, Brees will be gutted because you've got to run all that way, and you know, if you put in the effort, Andrew, you want the points. But back go the Aztecs, and Rushmoor get let off one there, really.
So number 36, Theo Jones, had to come off the field there gingerly after the play. So another Rushmoor Knight is subbed on, and it's going to be first down and 20 for the Bristol Aztecs. Ball spotted on the 30-yard line. We've got about 6 minutes and 22 seconds here as Wimmer singled up on this left-hand side with Akin Samney. Two receivers to the right. Sean Vaughan in the game for the Aztecs. He takes a snap, rumbles forward. He's got a number of Rushmoor Knights around him. Makes about 3 or 4 yards of the penalty yardage, and that's going to bring up second down.
Just decent cover, run coverage really from the Rushmoor Knights. That time only a couple of yards for Sean Vaughan. They're doing a little bit of a job of bringing up some cornerbacks and extra safeties into the box on the first down. But again, Gretzinger's got that arm that can really hurt them if they bring up too many players into that box.
So Sean Cook back into the game for the Aztecs. Chris Green checks in at the slot on the right-hand side alongside Quinton Women.
Harvey, what you done, mate? Oh.
He comes across the formation, quick pass by Gretzinger. It's that tunnel screen that he loves so much, but the Knights really are able to sniff that one out, bring down Quinton Women. They come back to the original chain line there, so it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Aztecs.
Yeah, 3rd down. We know Gretzinger's been in this position a number of times before, so they'll have plenty of plays that he can run from here. 3rd down, really be looking for Wimmer, see whether you can get the conversion. He's the hot receiver right now for the Aztecs.
Trips to the left with Wimmer right there in the slot. Green and Marsh to his left. Gretzinger drops back. He's got all of the space to run. He tucks the ball under, makes the 1st down, out of bounds on the left side there. At least 20 to 30 yards on the rush. Ball is out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Huge 1st down for the Aztecs.
He runs good, does QB1, I tell you. It was really nice. He had Wimmer deep, actually, and Wimmer had just got behind those defensive backs and was available as a target. But Gretzinger sees the open grass in front of him and says, you know what, I can see at least 20 yards here, I'll go for it. And he picks up 30 before the Rushmoor Knights can get close to him.
That's why he is called the General here, as it is 1st down for...
If you're listening, Ethan, I'm nothing to do with this. I mean, if you want a different nickname, just tell me.
So 1st down for the Aztecs. Sean Cook back into the game at the H-back position. Brees alongside Gretzinger, quick pass to the left. Wimmer takes the ball, makes the 1st man miss, and then taken down by the 2nd defender. That's going to be a gain of around about 8 or 9 yards. It took 2 to take him down, and it's a nice manageable 2nd down for the Aztecs.
It's all Akinsanmi again, who's on the coverage of Wimmer there. That, you know, would you like to cover Wimmer? I wouldn't. I tell you, 6'5", he's about 220 pounds. He's big, he's strong, he's got that great wingspan, and just getting him on the ground did a good job. So just limiting the damage there to 7 yards.
You're asking the wrong person, Carl. I spent the majority of the end of my career long snapping because that's what I really like to do. So 2nd down and 3 for the Aztecs. Trips to the right-hand side. Wimmer singled on the left. It's a fumble snap by Gretzinger, so he's going to take off instead. Makes the 1st down, then goes down himself. Clever move there to keep the ball, and it's going to be a 1st down Aztecs inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, sometimes you do have to be a field general, Andrew, on the field. Gretzinger doing a good job there, dropping the ball, just picking it up and making something out of nothing, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to be smart. As a QB, you handle the ball every single snap. Does a good job of
3 minutes and running. 3 minutes and
the
running.
more you speak it into existence, the more this is going to happen, Carl. Tom Bowering checks into the game alongside Max Holland on the right-hand side. Green and Wimmer to the left of Gretzinger. 1st down on the 17-yard line. It's a quick pass out to the right-hand side to Bowering. He spins up very close to the 1st down marker.
If you compare the experience of Ethan Gretzinger with the experience of McFarland, look at this offensive line. I mean, Gretzinger's just stood there, gets the play. He has so much time to throw the ball. This offensive line is really elite, and it doesn't matter. Pete Jones, you know, he was an offensive lineman, and this line is so well drilled.
That's, I think Lydon Ward-Best has quite the hand in that as well. A very, very experienced offensive line coach here in the UK. Quick pass out to the right-hand side, almost like a baseball pitch there to try and get the ball over to Max Holland. Batted down it was, and it brings up 3rd down and short.
It was Chris Sporton there, the Rushmoor Knights
At 1 minute 58,
linebacker.
1:58. This is the 2-minute warning.
That's the first time we've had a chance to speak about Chris Sporton. What a statistical season he's having. 3 sacks already on the year. He is dangerous on that Rushmoor defensive line.
He is, and he was their player of the month last month as well. So, I mean, he nearly made a really spectacular play there. Just Gretzinger not seeing him, and gets a left hand on it.
3rd down and 2 for the Aztecs. Gretzinger stays in the game, so the Wildcat package that we saw earlier for a Josh Brees touchdown is staying in Rian Hudson's back pocket at the moment. 2 receivers either side of Gretzinger in the formation as Brees switches into the pistol. It's a drop back pass. It's up in the air. Over the top it goes to Wimmer. We check the call. It is a touchdown. Touchdown, Aztecs!
Well, he'll beat you with the over-the-shoulder throws and catches, but you can also just chuck it up there. As again, we talked about his height, 6'4", 6'5", something like that, and you can just throw it up, and he'll just use that vertical leap to go above everyone and bring it down. And that's what this chemistry that Wimmer and Gretzing are beginning to build up. Because I mean, Wimmer's only played 2 games. Although his statistics, you'd think he'd played all 3 of the games, but 350 yards. Coming into this game of receptions, but they're beginning to build up a great chemistry there, Andrew.
The snap and the hold is much more to expectations there for the Aztecs, and through goes the kick. It was Luca Bindi, the corner, who had the unfortunate task of going one-on-one with Quinton Wimmer. It went over his head, and an easy catch for the American. Ethan Gretzinger there showing all of his knowledge at the field general position and just put it in the only place that Quinton Wimmer could get the ball.
Oh, there it is again. Shout out to Luca Bindi as well, going up against Wimmer. Now playing, used to play for Nottingham Trent University, now playing in the Premiership here at Rushmoor, going up against one of the top receivers in the country right now. So even though he got done on that battle, Rushmoor still continue to fight and will continue to try and make things happen both on offense and defense.
Well, if he's played for Nottingham Trent, Carl, he must have been coached up with some pretty good fundamentals from the likes of yourself and others.
Well, I didn't want to say anything. Anyway, we're talking about him getting beat on that play. Let's just end this segment now before Bindi says, listen, coach, never mention me again.
So Ollie looked back for the kickoff there. High into the air it goes. The wind has really carried it. McFarlane was back once again for the kick return for the Knights. It goes out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. The receiving team will take the ball 30 yards from where it was kicked at the 35-yard line, first down.
So 1 minute 52 left. So a chance for the 2-minute offense for the Rushmoor Knights here. Remember, do not adjust your sets or go anywhere once that half-time whistle goes.
Farnham have decided they want the ball to be re-kicked. So we'll go 5 yards back and we'll re-kick the ball.
Because not only will we have the highlights of the first half, we will also have that Nando's kicking competition for you, where Katie finds out just who can make up that 30-yard field goal. Everyone says they can. Not many people actually can.
It's not as easy as you think. Interestingly, on that play, that Rushmoor Knights ask for a re-kick. You don't get that a lot. A lot of times they just take the ball, but they've not looked great on these kickoffs, Andrew, of the Aztecs today. They're kicking into space where there doesn't seem to be any Aztecs there, and then you've got the one out of bounds. So we'll see how this one goes. Last week the kicking was excellent. I think there was 11 PATs and all of them went through, but this week not so accurate.
So look, once again, needs to factor the wind into his kick. Keeps it in play there, and McFarlane is up to the 25-yard line, goes down. I wonder if it was just a career decision there. Make sure that he's got a little bit of field position. Questions asked there by Cody Golding. If there's one thing I know about Cody Golding, he would not have gone down there. He would have tried to lower a shoulder and meet violence.
Absolutely would. And again, well, it makes it odd that he went down, because they wanted to re-kick, so they wanted to return it.
To be fair, if I'm returning a kick, that's exactly what I'm doing as well. I get up to a point, and then mysteriously I might trip over my shoelaces. So
the turf monster strikes again.
The ball spotted on the 26-yard line. So we've got 1 minute 46 left here in the half. There seems to be a slight issue with the chains over on the home sideline, so an opportunity for some running repairs there. And just a reminder, we are still looking for that meet MVP, the meet VP, and that sizzle play.
Chain is currently being repaired. The chain is being repaired. We'll resume the game after that's fixed.
And just a reminder, this is brought to you by New Manor Farm, who will be putting together a £50 meat package for that sizzle play and the meat VP. So that's something that Carl and myself will be looking to figure out in the fourth quarter.
Well, we'll be looking to sidle up to the winner and see whether we can get a cut of that box.
Yeah, I tell you what, I follow New Manor Farm on Instagram. that's what it's like. I like a good butcher's, and they have some quality produce there.
It looked good. I saw the picture of Wimmer on Instagram holding there. It looked great.
So first down for the Knights. 2 receivers either side of McFarlane there with Toe in the backfield. It's going to be a pass. McFarlane thinks about it and then takes off. Over to the left-hand side he goes. Up to the first down line, but I think there was a fumble there. It's an Aztecs ball all the way down to the end zone. It's a touchdown to the Aztecs. We're just trying to figure out who's got the ball there. I think that might be Niall Ashworth, number 99, who was able to corral the ball and take it in for the score. Touchdown, Aztecs.
They stole it away. They just stole it away, McFarlane. It's an excellent run up the middle here. Now, there's the initial contact there, but that player stands him up, and then McFarlane just comes in and rips the ball out, and it's just a great heads-up play by Niall Ashworth, because he knows that that quarterback is going to be stood up, and he just gives what an escort down the field as well to get the ball into the end zone. That's the second defensive touchdown.
I think that
I
think that might have been Fred Smith with the forced fumble. So not only has he got a fumble return for a touchdown, a forced fumble that becomes another touchdown. It's Tom Bowering with the extra point. That is good, and it makes it 40-2 here for the Bristol Aztecs. It's really gotten out of hand as we wind down towards the end of the second quarter.
Here's that play again from the Aztecs defense. You're taught as defensive players that when a player is stood up like that, you're going to come in. First man goes for the player, second man goes for the ball. And it does look like it may have been Fred, as you say, that ripped it out, and Ashworth with an entourage down the sideline. They obviously drilled that.
There's 1 minute 26 in the half.
Touchdown Aztecs.
1-2-6 in the half.
Devastating for Rushmoor.
That's it. We've spoken so much about how much more competitive they've been in this game. They've had chances to score. They've been in the red zone. They've been down at the 3-yard line, and it's been so unfortunate that it just hasn't fallen their way in this first half. And now you look at it, and that's that 39-point difference as we look to get into half time.
Yeah, they got those 2 points. I think, if you're watching this game, it is a completely different Rushmoor team. They're much, much more competitive. But again, Aztecs, they're so good that the scores are put up so quickly. You have to really stay with them to have any kind of chance.
Saluto takes the kick there from inside his own 10-yard line, and he is up the right-hand side, pushed out of bounds at around about the 25-yard line, and it's going to be the Knights once again coming back out and trying to put a 2-minute drive together.
Spoke to Harvey Macy quickly, the running back for the Knights, and he's not going to be returning. He's out of kit now, so Salu's going to be taking the running back duties for the Knights, and Harvey Macy was a key part of that offense. And when you lose somebody like that, it does dampen your opportunities, and just means you've got much less available in the playbook than you would have. So really unfortunate injury for him. Hopefully he can return quickly, but it's going to be Salu with the rest of those duties.
So another opportunity for the Knights here at the end of the second quarter. 2 receivers once again at either side of the formation. It's a high snap pitched out to Toe on the left-hand side. Tries to make a play and miss, but is tackled at the first down line. So at the 30-yard line there, brings up 2nd down and 10.
It's like we said in that Q1, they're wise to it now, the Aztecs. They've seen it a number of times. So where they were picking up 5-6 yards on first down, they're now picking up 1 or 2. And they had the turnover as well. So Coach Wilford continues to make the adjustments. And I don't think the Knights will have too much in their playbook. It's really difficult to install all of those plays that you would need to then adjust again. They need some more weeks to get that going.
2nd down and 8. They gave 2 yards there to Toe on the first down carry. It's a high snap. McFarlane's able to get it down, but he decides to take off straight away, lowers a shoulder. He makes maybe a yard there on the play. It's Chris Arena with the tackle from the cornerback position. Sometimes they say cornerbacks don't want to tackle. He definitely does.
Yeah, he likes to put his helmet in there, and some cornerbacks do. They like the contact, and I like defenders that like contact. They're getting wise to it now, these quarterback runs, and Arena does a nice job just coming off his coverage assignment and being that additional force player to ensure
this is the end of the first half.
So 2 run plays there by the Knights to take it into halftime. Remember, Rushmoor deferred their choice on the kickoff. So they will most likely get the ball to start the second half. And we will have a quick look in a moment at the highlights in that first half. And there are quite a few highlights. Don't forget, we have the Nando's kicking competition coming up very shortly as well. Always a lot of fun there and chances for glory, for chicken, and to check whether you want the lemon and herb or a little bit of spice. I'm always a lemon and herb guy, Carl. Are you surprised by that?
It doesn't surprise me, actually.
There he is, the Nando's chicken. Going to be feeling very warm there underneath all that. Sometimes you don't need a special diet. You just need to wear a Nando's chicken outfit in the middle of the summer for about 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so that first touchdown for the Aztecs, it came from the Wildcat. It was Josh Brees behind the wall of Sean Vaughan, as well as a number of other Aztecs, including Nick Radley. That got the score going in the first quarter for the Aztecs, and the Aztecs showing that no huddle. After a first down, straight away they went to Sam East on the screen. Quinton Wimmer making not 1 but 2 blocks as East was able to be off to the races there. And we see it once again. It was very simple, just a quick screen out to the left-hand side, and what a run there, Carl.
Yeah, it's great. It's just called a now screen. You just see it and you take the opportunity if that defender's playing off the ball.
After that, it was over the top to Quinton Wimmer. Easy pitch and catch there. We've seen that so many times from the Aztecs here in the 2026 season.
That's the over-shoulder catch, and then we'll show you what happens if you just pop the ball up in the end zone a few touchdowns later.
And then later on, the Rushmoor Knights, they had the ball in the second half. They had a chance to score. And we saw here, as McFarland just tried to make something happen, the interception there was a pitch, there was a fumble, it was calamitous. The Aztecs did end up coming away with the ball, though.
Yeah, this was a great play from George Rhymes. You can see he's just in the position he needs to be to cover that running back pitch, and then he's off to the races. That wasn't such a great play. And the Bristol Aztecs were lucky that wasn't retained by the Rushmoor Knights.
And then it was a return of the Wildcat for Josh Brees over to the left-hand side. He walked in for the touchdown behind a bulldozer of Aztecs linemen. And then Gretzinger rolling out to the right-hand side. He was trying to make something happen. He fumbled the ball. It was collected by the Knights. It gave them fantastic field position. And it was just a play that Gretzinger didn't want to happen.
It's just an excellent defensive play from the Rushmoor Knights, and it was great coverage as well at the other end. He was trying to get the ball to Brees. Great coverage, great pursuit, and you know, Rushmoor really deserved a lot more. But you'll see what happens. It was absolute chaos.
And with 2 yards to go, McFarland switched underneath the center. He tried the tush push, but it didn't happen like we see Jalen Hurts do it. Instead, Fred Smith was able to pick the ball up, and off he went for a 98-yard fumble return to the house.
It was just absolutely nowhere to go. That ball was there, but look how McFarland gets crushed under the power of those central defenders. They just absolutely collapsed the line, and then Fred West, no one's going to catch him, and it's such a great opportunity as a defender. You just feel great running down the field to get that TD for your team.
And maybe the balloon had popped there for the Knights, because after that play, you've got Quinton Wimmer up over the top for his second touchdown of the game. Gretzinger just stepping, gripping, releasing, and it was just as easy as throw and catch for the dynamic duo for the Aztecs.
Yeah, I mean, Gretzinger didn't even look to see whether he was covered. He knew he was going to throw it back corner of the end zone, put it up there, and Gretzinger brings it down.
And so many times we've seen McFarland making things happen with his legs, but the ball ripped out by Fred Smith, collected by Niall Ashworth, and from a wall of Aztecs defenders in front into the end zone they went, closely followed by about 4 to 5 of the Aztecs coaching staff.
It just goes to show how quickly you can make these adjustments. This is great defense. Stand him up. First man stands him up. Second man, rip the ball out. That is Fred West. Niall Ashworth gets the ball, and it's good to get confirmation actually that that fumble was caused by West, who's having a great game today.
And so with that, it was another touchdown for the Aztecs. 2 defensive touchdowns for the Aztecs here in the first half. And that is where we are, with it being 41-2. So with no more further ado, we're going to take it down to the sideline. And Katie is going to start the Aztecs with the Nando's kicking competition.
Enjoy it, folks.
Okay, so we are here with legendary quarterback Ashley Richard, who is going to be performing the expert hold for our kicking competition. And we've got 4 brave participants as well. Contestant number 1, what's your name?
My name's Chris Hill.
Chris Hill. Now, are you also a Bristol Packer?
I was back in the day.
Yeah, and what position did you play?
Free safety for 2 years, come on.
Amazing. And how confident do you feel about this kicking competition today?
I'm very confident the kicking competition is going ahead. I'm not very confident in my ability to kick the ball over posts.
Well, that is imperative. So we'll see how you get on, won't we? And our second contestant, what's your name?
I'm Jake.
Jake, are you also a Bristol Packer?
No, I've never played.
You never played? Okay, well, this is great. We need range, we need diversity here. So tell me, how confident are you feeling?
Very confident.
Very confident. Do you know, I'm feeling the confident aura, actually. I can feel it, yeah. Well, let's see how you get on. Contestant number 3, what's your name?
Ash.
Ash, okay. And now, have you played American football before?
No, I haven't, no.
You haven't? Okay. And how are you finding the game today?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, really good.
Good. And how confident are you feeling?
Not very confident, no. No, we give it a go.
Once again, I can kind of feel that energy from you as well. So why don't we come over and give it our best shot? Now, Ashley, I need to know, I've got a question for you. Do you understand that you kind of hold the fate of these fans' dinner in your hands?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I've got this. This is fine. I've got this.
Yeah, you can do this? Okay, all right. And do you have any advice for our 4 participants that would basically help them block out the crowd and just focus on splitting that upright?
Kick it as hard as you can.
Just kick it as hard as you can. It really is that easy, says the quarterback. Okay. Contestant number 1, Chris, are you ready? Are you ready?
As I can be.
I'm seeing some limbering up is happening.
Injury prevention.
He's taking it really seriously. This man is about his business. Okay, Chris, do you know what to do?
Try and kick the ball between the posts.
Do you know what to do?
Yes.
Try and kick the ball between the posts.
I'll try my best.
Okay. Chris, you're feeling confident?
No.
No, he says no, but he's going to do it anyway, so let's see how we get on, okay?
You say when you go.
All right, I'm going to count down from 5. And crowd, if you can join me from 3, please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fortunately for all of the car owners in the car park over there, Chris's ball didn't really make it off of the ground. But Chris, that was fantastic. You've got yourself a pair of tickets to next week's game. Contestant number 2. How are you? You're feeling nervous, aren't you?
Yeah, I was confident. I'm not anymore.
Okay, so. I could sense that when you walked over, that the energy had shifted quite dramatically. Okay, now, you've seen Chris's attempt. Do you reckon you can do better than that?
That's the bare minimum, I think.
That's the bare minimum where we have fighting talk over here. Ashley, are you ready? He's ready. Okay, are you ready as well?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, I'm going to count down from 5. Crowd, please join me from 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, hang on a minute. You said you weren't very confident. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I was very confident. You could tell. I was very.
I mean, I absolutely couldn't. But I like that was you knew that was your energy. Well done. You've won yourself a Nando's voucher, Aztecs merch, and tickets to next week's game.
Ash, go the other side and left footed.
Oh, we've got a lefty. We've got a lefty over here. All right, how are you feeling about this?
Well, as long as I don't kick Ash in the hands, I'm happy.
Well, this is key, isn't it? Now you've seen a kind of, let's be honest, a fumbled attempt, and you've seen something quite successful. Do you think that you're more option number 1 or option number 2?
In between them both.
In between them both. Well, I mean, so long as you get it over the uprights, that's all you need to do, isn't it? So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah? Okay. Ashley, are you ready? Ready over here too. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now what happened there? I just looked over and Ashley was on the floor. Okay, contestant number 4, how are you feeling about this?
Average. I'll give it a go.
Average, you'll give it a go. That's the sport. Okay.
Right.
You're right-footed. Okay, then I'll move out here and get out of the way. So, you've seen a variety of attempts really today, haven't you? And now that you've stood there and you're looking at the uprights, how does it feel now?
Good. We'll give it a go. Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah? Okay. Well, the Nando's chicken is standing right behind you in support. We're all behind you. No pressure. You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up.
Well, it was a good try, which is what you came out here to do, isn't it? So, well done, and you've got yourself a pair of tickets to next week's game against the London Blitz. So congratulations. Thank you very much to all 4 of our participants. Thank you. You can return to your seats.
The guys want to...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that wasn't bad for the Nando's chicken. Did you see that? Okay. No interview?
No.
Ashley, how was that for you?
That was awesome, thank you.
Yeah. Did it bring you back to the old days a little bit?
Yeah, we used to kick them in the old days though.
Well, that is it for our half-time kicking competition today, and it was a real range of skill levels, really. I'm expecting to have a chat with Jason, who's one of the Bristol Packers. Jason, if you want to come and join us, I would love to have a chat with you about your experience, how you are finding the game today, and learn a little bit more about the sport's history and heritage here in Bristol. Because it was actually, in fact, Jason who said to me that the Aztecs wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Bristol Packers. Jason, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
And how have you found today's game?
Oh, it's fantastic. So professional. Just a great family atmosphere as well. It's a bit different from when we played.
Can you talk a little bit about your experience with Bristol Packers?
Yeah, sure. So actually we're from the Bristol Packers youth team, and when we aged out of that, we were looking to join a team. We didn't stay with the Packers, but we actually formed the nucleus of the original Aztecs. So about 50% of the original Aztecs team were the Bristol Packers youth team.
And how hard is it for you to sit on the sidelines today? Do you find that when you watch football, you're just itching to get back out on the field?
I do, but I don't think my body would really agree. So yeah, it's probably for the best I don't.
And we have a really great turnout today, lots of families and lots of kids also watching the sport. How important do you think that is for the kind of long-standing heritage and sustainable future for the Aztecs?
Yeah, I think the youth team is really an essential part because it continues to build the team for future generations, and I don't think you really get there unless you have a really good youth team, and that starts by getting kids interested, coming to see the game and really enjoying it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Jason. Enjoy the rest of the game.
I'd just like to say one more thing, which is I want to give a big shout out to the #1 Bristol American football guy here, Mike Harrison. He's the stats guy. Mike Harrison was the stats guy for me at Bristol Packers. He was the stats guy for me at the Bristol Aztecs. He's the stats guy now for the Aztecs. He's a real hero of Bristol American football.
I agree with you. We're really proud to be partnering with him with Pick Six as well. So yes, thank you, Jason. Enjoy the rest of the day. Now we have a brand new segment, especially for our streaming audience, and you can play along at home. The premise is simple. It's NFL trivia, and the winner stays on. See if you've got what it takes and play along.
Two NFL teams have won the most Super Bowls.
Steelers, Patriots.
Patriots and the Packers.
How many teams are based in New York?
1.
3.
Who was the Kansas City Chiefs head coach in 2013?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
Who's the NFL's all-time leading passer?
Tom Brady.
Brady.
Which team plays its home games at Lambeau Field?
It's Green Bay.
The Packers.
Thank you very much there, Katie. Welcome back to Shaftesbury Park here for the second half of the Bristol Aztecs versus the Rushmoor Knights. It's been a strong first half showing for the Aztecs. It's 41-2 here in the game. But Carl, I think we can both agree that scoreline is not a reflection of what the game we've been seeing here in the first half.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a reflection of how much effort and tenacity Rushmoor Knights have come into this game with. I mean, you know, you come off an 83-0 slamming that you got 2 weeks ago, and you could have just rolled over. No one expects you to do too much against the Aztecs, but they've come in and they've been fighting hard, and I think it's a reflection of how the Aztecs have played. They totally deserve those 41 points, but Rushmoor deserve a bit more.
Absolutely, and head coach Pete Jones spoke about it in the pre-game. He's looking for that perfect game. I know it's something that's always on the fingertips. It's like George's marvelous medicine. He makes it once, and you can never find that perfect concoction again. But we think about that first half with procedural penalties. There was a hold on the very first kick return that Max Holland nearly was able to take to the house. And there's always things that this group want to improve and get better at, aren't there?
That is, and if you ever spend time around Coach Pete, then he says exactly those types of things, or you hear him on an interview, he'll tell you that, you know, it's not who you're playing, it's how you're playing compared to how you did play, and they're always looking to improve. That's how they've got themselves into this position, being the national champion. It was never about the Warriors or the Titans, it was always about the Aztecs taking it each game as it came and learning from it, and they'll be no different against Rushmoor. It doesn't matter who they play.
And of course, whilst we still have a half to go, there's going to be a point in time where attention is going to turn to next weekend, because that's the game that's going to decide the first and second seed essentially in the Premier Division. It's going to be the London Blitz next week, and there might be a conversation somewhat in the third quarter about rotations and who's getting on and who's going to be getting game time as well.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit pre-game, didn't we, Andrew, about the fact that you want to get as many people rotated into these games as you can. You're 41 points up, or 39 points up, you put 41 points on the board. So you want to get as many players as you can now and give people an equal opportunity to get some time in the game, because, you know, you do have to start thinking about those other games that are later down the season. You've got London Blitz, then you've got Cambridge, who we've not seen yet, and then you've got the playoffs looming. And coach thinks in that way. He thinks, you know, long term in terms of his players.
And talking about that, it's going to be a running clock situation to start the second half. It's a 39-point gap, and when it is over 35 points, that's when the running clock starts. So for those of you watching the stream, just to talk you through that, normally we would see a clock stoppage on incomplete passes or the ball going out of bounds. Now what you'll see is the only time that the clock will stop is on changes of possession or touchdowns. So this second half could be going quite a lot quicker.
Yeah, it does. It happened in the last Rushmoor game. I think Aztecs in the last game had put up 35 points by the end of Q1, but the clock actually doesn't start until you know, the second half. But it does go rapidly, which means that, again, Coach Jones has got that truncated time to get as many players on the field as he can. So I do expect to see lots of rotations in. Probably see Lewis Benzie at quarterback, I would imagine, to start with. Whether they get to their third string, I don't know. It depends how Lewis plays. Played well last time out, you know, scored a touchdown of his own and had 5 completions. So he's a good, definitely an excellent backup for Gretzinger.
Absolutely, and we saw on deadline day the Aztecs, they put a post up. They used a KSI video where he was looking at Pokemon cards, and they were likening that to some of the players they got. But Chris Wedderburn has come down to Bristol, a really effective receiver, another tall target. He's wearing number 80 and is definitely going to be a weapon for them in the later season. Thomas Campbell, God, what a name in terms of running backs with GFL and Great Britain experience. It's just going to be a wealth of riches and a wealth of options for the Aztecs in the second half of the season.
But that's what it's like when you build a successful program, and Aztecs are building that successful program. People want to come here. The best players want to come here because they know they're going to play in Europe. They know they're going to play the best teams, and they know they're going to be supported by a group of young people coming through, and also that mix of veterans that they've also got in the lineup that have been here, you know, and played 100 games. You know, some of them celebrating 100 games played for the Aztecs, Sean Cook. So you've got a real mix of people here, and they're building that great culture. It's obviously brilliant to play on this home turf as well, Andrew. All those pieces coming together attracts the best players.
And not only that, it's talking about what came before. I mean, it was lovely to see Katie having a conversation there with the old Bristol Packers. I remember those old uniforms as well, and setting the scene for the Bristol Aztecs and who they were and what they were creating. Pete Jones being one of those guys. I mean, I saw Paul Dangerfield on the sideline before the game. That's a name from Aztecs lore almost on the offensive line. We're going to talk about a little segment that's going to be coming up next week that we've been working on really hard, and it's great to see so many of those retired Aztecs coming down to be a part of what's going on here.
Yeah, it is. It really builds that sense of history. I mean, 83-0. I wanted to check actually whether that was the most points they've ever racked up. But Bristol obviously in the peak form of their history so far, and that having that alumni around to come back and say, you know, I was part of that, and to be made to feel like you were part of that. That's the kind of thing which really builds a legacy that people and a franchise that people can get behind and be really proud of.
And just to reiterate the point that was made there in that interview, they talked about Mike Harrison, the Aztec stats guy, and sometimes the behind-the-scenes people don't always get as much of the glory, but I know for a fact that in midweek I am banging on the door and I need Mike's stats, and I need that to put together my my notes for the week. So he is invaluable, and as we've been alluding to throughout the broadcast, using Pick Six and that fantastic website and Instagram page that has been putting together so many stats for Brit Bowl, not just in the Premiership, but all the way down as well. If the teams are putting their numbers into the websites after the games, Pick Six are churning them out and putting the data together.
Yeah, and people talk about, you know, growing the game. Well, growing the game is growing what's going on off the field, not just what's going on the field, and that's what the Aztecs are doing so well. They find people volunteer, you know, they get people into positions where they can really add value to the overall package that the Aztecs are putting out there. And having great statistics, being able to celebrate players through statistics and making those comparisons, as Pick Six allows us to do, it's just fantastic as a commentator to come along. You've got access to what you need to really tell the story of the game.
So the Aztecs kick off here in the second half. It's in the direction of Saluto, who lets it bounce. It goes past him. He has to field it. He takes a knee and goes down inside his own 20. So not a great start there for the Rushmoor Knights on the kick return. And it's going to back them up and give them a really tough starting field position.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He didn't know whether to get up under the ball and try and make the catch there, or the sun was behind him, so it wasn't in his face. I just think it was a mistake, and it does back up the Rushmoor Knights, and that's a poor start to the second half, having deferred. They wanted the ball. They've been doing good on kick return, not on this occasion.
So Ethan McFarlane comes back into the game at quarterback for the Rushmoor Knights, and we were talking about rotation straight away. I see that Hawken Hall has checked in at cornerback for the Aztecs. Adam Deverill is back there at safety, Harry Newman alongside him. So straight away, the Aztecs defense ringing the changes. It's going to be McFarlane with Salu next to him in the backfield. He's going to pass on first down. McFarlane tries to take off. His shirt is held there by the defensive line. But there's going to be a flag as well. Probably looking at a intentional grounding there. It was Carlson Giles hanging on for dear life as McFarlane took off, and the refereeing crew will debate the penalty there.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly his arm was moving forwards. There was no fumble on that. It was intentional to try and throw the ball, but there was no player in the area. Just for those of you that are watching maybe for the first time, we'll hear from the ref first.
Number 30 and number 21 were both in the area. There is no flag for intentional grounding.
Oh, well, there you go. The referee's correcting me live. He says there were two players in the area and it wasn't intentional grounding. But to me, you know, there was no opportunity really to make that reception, and that was a clear foul, but
No.
I'm not on the field.
Valentino Georgiou there was the intended target, but it brings up second down for the Knights. Buffalo was looking for the option pitch there. He keeps the ball. The ball is out. I can see a referee pointing as if he was down by contact. We'll wait.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down before the ball came out.
There you have it. It was down by contact. So McFarlane there's been a couple of times where the ball has crept out of his possession, and that brings up third down.
He's trying to make as many yards as he can, and the Aztecs now getting wise to the fact that obviously that he's keeping the ball himself, and they're coming in trying to punch it out, trying to rip it out whenever they can. Doing a good job there. A couple of times now on second down, on first down and on second down, that Rushmoor Knights got away with it.
And it's a testament to coaching as well. They've seen that option being effective, and then it's snuffed out later on. Throw there by McFarlane up. It's in the direction of Deverell. Goes over Hawk and Hall there at cornerback. It was Justin Schwertner, the intended receiver, on the play. It goes incomplete and brings up fourth down.
Well, the ball was in the air for a long time here, and this is kind of 50-50 ball. Neither of them able to come down with it. It looked like the defender had best field position there, Hawk and Hall, but couldn't get his hands on it. Maybe a little bit of blinding from the sun there.
So it's going to be a punt by the Rushmoor Knights. Ryan Woodhouse is ready to punt. Good kick. There's a question there whether it might have been blocked. It's Holland on the return. He fields it at his 38-yard line, cuts to the left-hand side. He's got blockers in front. He's met there by the Rushmoor Knight. It was Torrin Bent on the tackle. A great punt return there, and it brings up first down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, they're having trouble with the punts early on. That's a much better kick from the Rushmoor Knight offensive lineman, but he kind of outkicked his coverage, and it allowed the Aztecs to give a really good return. So deep into Aztecs, deep into Knights territory they start.
Gretzinger stays on the field. He's got Sean Vaughan in the backfield alongside him. Hands it off to Vaughan on the left-hand side. Stumbles and bumbles and rumbles forward for a 5-yard gain. I think he was tripped up by his own offensive lineman there. Brings up second down for the Aztecs.
Going fast again. Interesting to see Gretzinger still in.
Second down here for the Aztecs. Two receivers to the right of Gretzinger. He looks to the right, doesn't like what he sees, takes off to the left-hand side. He's got the first down. He's got a block from Cook. He's into the end zone. There's a flag that's been thrown. At the moment, it's a touchdown, but I think this one might be coming back.
Yeah, and in that vicinity, he's probably going to be Aztecs holding, so it's
holding, offense number 12. 10 yards from the flag, still enough for a first down.
So the Aztecs keep the first down there. You could see as Gretzinger scrambled, Sean Cook was making a block, but it looked like he was grabbing more than he was blocking.
Yeah, he's just off the top of your screen there. You can't really see where the penalty took place, but Gretzinger showed there's the hold. You can see just to the left of your screen, Sean Cook with the hold. That's why it was called back. And again, one of those mistakes that they're going to diagnose and look at after this game and try and cut down on these errors.
One thing to talk about here in the game, something that OC Rian Hudson really wanted me to focus on. We haven't had a chance to, but we don't really need to. James Viner on the offensive line, first start at center. There were conversations about whether his snaps would be consistent. I think we found out that they've been excellent all throughout the day today. I don't know if I put the commentator's curse on it, but fantastic work there by James Viner on the offensive line. First down for the Aztecs. Handoff to Vaughan on the right-hand side. He's got Cook in front of him blocking. Vaughan turns the corner. Upfield he goes. Makes enough there for another first down. It's about a 15-yard gain on the run. Brings the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Great to see that run. I mean, you've got Sean Vaughan who's got all that you know, that strength to really drive the ball, and then you've got the offensive line behind. We're going quick.
No huddle there. Gretzinger over the top. Sam East is in a load of space in the end zone. No defender within range. Touchdown, Aztecs.
Yeah, Sam East is just looked like he was uncovered on that play. Let's have a look on the replay. He's just to that slot receiver on the left-hand side, and there is literally no defender on him. Gretzinger sees it quickly. One of the easiest throws and catches you'll ever make.
I think I could have brought my mother over and she could have made that throw. There was so much space for Sam East there. The no huddle once again causing issues for the Rushmoor Knights. And Tom Bowering is now in for the extra point. Chris Green on the hold. Snap's good. The kick is away. And it is through the uprights, and it's another touchdown for the Aztecs. So that's 48-2. We have 8 minutes and counting left in this third quarter. Like we said, when it goes to running clock, the time does ebb away very quickly. And after that, the 3 and out by the Knights, the Aztecs are able to capitalize and get some points on the board.
Yeah, clock will continue to run, and they'll only stop it for the 2 minutes.
We are under 8 minutes in the third quarter. Under 8 minutes, clock runs.
And if a team calls a timeout, but other than that, the clock will continue to run. The Aztecs again moving a little bit closer to that 50 burger for the second time against the Rushmoor Knights. Not a lot, but that was just a blown coverage from Rushmoor Knights. They'll be kicking themselves. They just didn't have a defender over that over East that time. And you have to cover up these receivers, at least have a shot at competing with them.
So Finn O'Shea will preside over kickoff duties here in the second half. Tolusar is back to return the kick. It's another short one up into the air and fielded not by Saar, but it's another Rushmoor Knight who takes it, bounce it to the left-hand side. He runs sideways as opposed to forward. He's out at about the 40-yard line, and that will bring up a first down to the Knights.
So Val Giorgio on the returning duties there. They've obviously lost Harvey Macy earlier on in the game, so they've put Giorgio back there, and he does a decent job, a good return, and that gives them some decent field position to start this drive. And it's whether or not now the Aztecs have basically, you know, they know what this Rushmoor team wants to run now, you know, so it's whether or not Rushmoor Knights have anything else in their playbook that they can actually come back with and see whether they can continue to make some yards against this Aztecs defense that have adjusted and now have pretty much got the measure of this Rushmoor offense.
So first down for the Rushmoor Knights on their own 35-yard line. Fake pitch from McFarlane. He now takes it to the left-hand side, but was very clever to go down there. There was a screaming Josh Ricketts coming into the shot there, and he decided to go down instead of meeting the linebacker there. Brings up second down.
You'll see on this replay, if we get a replay, Niall Ashworth and how to contain a quarterback that can scramble, because Ashworth does a really nice job of making McFarlane run one way then the next. If you see it here, watch number 99 there, just stands him up and turns him back inside, and that means that those other Aztec players can arrive. Good job on the defensive end.
Second down and 11 for the Knights. 5.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. McFarlane back to pass. Again has the pressure. Again chooses to run. And once again, it's the pressure from the Bristol Aztecs defensive line. That's Alfie Shawunmi who comes up with the sack and brings up a long third down for the Knights.
Yeah, McFarlane's got to try and think about something else. What's happened to those run options? He's not been running those really in this second half. We've not seen it yet from the Knights, so we would look to go back to those, but not in this situation. You've got a third and long situation now. He's been looking for that receiver, Justice Schwertner. So we'll see if I pronounce that correctly. Andrew, come on, you're the one with all the practice at German.
You're getting better at that one. I'll give you that one. Yep, Schwertner, I like that.
So let's see whether he goes to him again.
So third down and 10 for the Knights. Two receivers either side of McFarlane. He's got Ricketts, who's able to dodge him, but there's another two Aztecs there.
Great
and it's
sack.
Alfie Shawunmi once again able to come up with the sack. Josh Ricketts had the first option. He came screaming through from the linebacker position, dodged the first tackler, but Shrumley was able to get there, wrap him up, and brings up 4th down.
It's a great defensive unit tackle, you'll see. All pursuing to that near side hip. Just corral the quarterback, no options. Down he goes. Great play on 3rd down.
You can always tell there's a defensive coach in the booth when we talk about near hips and using the sideline as a tackle as well. Definite defensive coach here. But then you've got an offensive coach on the other side, so it balances out quite well, doesn't it, Carl?
It does. Hopefully we'll give you the full insight into all these different positions if you're watching. So I mean, and enjoy doing it.
One of us, when we go for a tea, one of us has jam first on our scone, and one of us has cream. we play both sides of the coin.
The insights keep coming. Oh,
a blocked punt there, goes straight sideways out of bounds. Great work by the Bristol Aztecs punt block team.
Just feel like the defense has turned it up a notch on these Rushmoor Knights, and the last couple of plays they get the sack and now they get the block punt. And it's great to see them doing that, putting these Knights under even more pressure.
So change of possession at 3 minutes and the Bristol Aztecs. Lewis Benzie comes into the game. Chris Wedderburn, we mentioned him at halftime, checks in on the right hand side with Chris Green in the slot with him as well. And it's Benzie first off, tries to find Chris Wedderburn straight away, but it was knocked down there, and it was very nearly an interception, and it could very easily have been a pick 6 as well for the Rushmoor Knights.
Yeah, Benzie just needs to, take a couple of snaps just to get himself acclimatised to the Knights. This is a good defence.
It was Adam Walker there, very nearly was able to get the interceptions. Joe Zabana has checked into the game. He took the carry on 2nd down, makes maybe a yard, 2 yards. Oh no, I see the down marker moving. I stand corrected, he made 5 yards there. So brings up 3rd down. No huddle again, once again by the Aztecs. Quick snap, Benzie out to Green on the right hand side. Tries to make the first man miss, does, but he's met by the second man, taken out of bounds there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down, and an interesting decision for Pete Jones and Rian Hudson. Are they going to go for it? Are they going to kick? Looks like the offense staying out on the field again, working on this no huddle. Wedderburn is singled on that right-hand side on his own. Green comes across to the left-hand side. There's going to be a handoff to Zabana up the middle, trying to find the 1st down yardage. And we have an officials timeout as they check the spot on that 4th down.
Yeah, nice mix of plays. Aztecs moving really fast, but also keeping the Rushmoor Knights defense off balance as they pick up another 1st down. This is good from Benzie, working at pace.
So another quick snap, it's Zabana to the right-hand side. He's got a little crease there, met firmly by the defensive back there, James Owen. It's goal to go. It's 2nd down. There's about 6 yards left for the Aztecs here. We've seen the Knights struggle with a goal to go situation, but Benzie now, he's got Green in wide open space. The 2nd time that the slot to the left has been left wide open. An easy touchdown. Touchdown, Aztecs!
Wow, Gretzinger did it, and then Benzie's done it as well. As a quarterback, you just got to be smart. You survey the field, you come into that shotgun position, take a look around. If there is an open receiver, you're just going to pick them out. That's exactly what Benzie does on this. And although it looks simple, you've got to be smart as a quarterback to get that initial look and make it look that easy.
So Bowering comes on for the extra point. I don't think Chris Green will catch an easier touchdown in his career, and he's had a fair few of them. The kick is up through the post, actually away, and it goes right.
This is the end of the quarter. This is the end of the quarter.
It goes right to the post. That's a failed extra point there.
Yeah, that's the first one we've seen of these kicks. Again, that will be looked at as the Aztecs want to try and make all of these extra points count. But good to see Lewis Benzie coming on the field. Obviously, you come in cold as the quarterback. Gretzinger seemed to play. We were expecting him for the 1st half, but he's actually come in and he is playing. He's also played part of that 3rd quarter, Andrew.
This is the end of the 3rd
quarter. So it's 54-2,
quarter.
and we're going to take another opportunity to go down to the sideline and just show what kind of work pick 6 can do. We've got Katie down on the sideline talking about Quinton Wimmer and the work he's been doing at the wide receiver position.
I mean, whether it's Gretzinger, whether it's Louis Benzi, his favourite target always has to be Quintin Wimmer. He was also the last game's meet VP, and he leads the league with a whopping 345 yards. But the stat that really jumps off the page is his 28.8 yards per catch. He's basically picking up a first down and a half every single time he touches the ball. And the Rushmoor Knights just have no answer for him. Back to you guys in the gantry.
Thank you very much, and that does, we do have to talk about the meet VP, but just in terms of having a receiver like that, Carl, when you're scouting and you see you've got to come up against him, it's always going to be a challenge as the kickoff goes out of bounds there at the 12-yard line. Talu Sol.
Yeah, it's not going to be against the others. There's no flag there because Solu touched it out of bounds, and so Rushmoor are going to get the ball there.
Yes.
But you're right, Andrew. It's difficult. I spoke to Luca Bindi, who was covering Wimmer on that touchdown at the back end of the end zone, and he was talking me through it. And I said to Luca, you know, there's probably one or two defensive backs could cover Wimmer in the country one-on-one. He is a tough ask.
And the thing is, we've seen it already in the game, that tunnel screen where the offensive line get out in front. It makes it even harder then, because now you've got Keanu Ebanks and Lewis Thomas in front to try and get around before you're even tackling him, and that really does make that 28.8 yards per reception. It makes sense when you put the stats to the film.
It totally does, and then of course he adds so much value on the kick returns as well, you know, scoring a 94-yard touchdown at the last game, and yeah, a real great addition to this Aztecs side.
Chernabassi is in at linebacker for the Aztecs here on this drive. McFarland looks for the deep pass, but there's whistles, there's flags, and that play will not count.
Full start, offense, number 34. 5 yards, remains first down.
So they go back 5 yards. And whilst we've got a quick second, we're going to have a couple of conversations about this during the fourth quarter. I know we're going to be stretched for time, but we've got quite a segment coming up next week against the London Blitz. Katie was fortunate to sit down with Steve Hopkins before the game, another Bristol Aztecs legend, and he had a lot to talk about, not just about the game and the Aztecs, but his life and his journey as well, Carl.
Yeah, he did, and if you're going to tune in or come down to see that game, I would really advise you do that. It sounds like it's going to. I'm not seeing the interview, but I've heard Katie speak about it, and she's really excited, and could impact a lot of young men's lives as well. So do watch that interview if you can.
McFarland is struggling there. He throws it up for grabs. It's collected, but Shawumni makes the tackle immediately. We'll wait for the call. There is a flag. Shawumni was asking for a safety.
I think he just got it out of the end zone by looks of where they're marking it, but they're going to have a little bit of a conflab. We'll see if we can see on the replay exactly what happened here. But the Aztecs, I did say at the end of Q3 that they kind of pulled it up a notch.
Illegal touching by the offence, number 56. That penalty we declined because the tackle was made in the end zone. That was up to safety.
So it is a safety to the Bristol Aztecs. McFarland was scrambling around, trying to get rid of the ball as he was hit. It popped up. It was caught by the offensive lineman. Now, the reason why the offensive line wear 50 to 79 is they're not allowed to touch it. It was caught immediately by an offensive lineman, then tackled in the end zone, and an offensive player tackled in the end zone is going to be 2 points to the defense, so it's 56-2.
Yeah, it was Josh Ricketts, number 15, a linebacker for the Aztecs, coming in to put the pressure on McFarland. McFarland just throws it up into the air, results in safety. So defense, how they've turned up today, Andrew, haven't they? What, 2 touchdowns and a safety? That is a hell of a day for a defense.
I really do think that our meet VP is going to be taken from the defensive side of the ball. They've done a fantastic job. And just going back to that conversation we were having, Steve Hopkins he's very active on Instagram, on social media. Scooby Hopkins is his moniker. And as Carl just mentioned there, talking a lot about men's mental health, talking a lot about his struggles, his journey. He talks a lot about faith as well, and how that's been a really important part of his life as well. And the honesty and the things that he's talking about, it's a really great segment that I hope everybody can have a look at next week.
Yeah, really recommended to you. If you can have a listen to that, please do.
The kick there goes out of bounds, so the Aztecs will have the option there to get the re-kick or get the offense on. It looks like they just want to get the offense on and get some reps, so Aztecs will take over on offense. There's about 12, just under 13 minutes left to go here.
Yeah, plenty of time for Benzi.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. The receiving team will elect to take the ball 30 yards from the kick, which will be midfield, first down, Bristol.
So Bristol don't take the option for a re-kick. They'll take the ball exactly at the penalty spot. Plenty of time now for Benzi to work some more magic down the field.
So first down for the Aztecs. Hand off to Sean Vaughan on the left-hand side, and Adam Eckhart really involved in the blocking there. He plows forward for 9 yards. I'm about 6 episodes deep into Clarkson's farm this year, so I've got all my farming reference, and that was a plough forward, definitely.
Yeah, well done. That is definitely a plough. Here we go again with Benzi to the edge.
Quick pass out there to the right-hand side. It was Tommy Drain-Weeks, the intended target, just short. So that's going to bring up third down and about 3, and the Aztecs moving quickly. There's a substitution by the Knights, but there was time for it to happen. So Jerry Ogu-Malade comes onto the field for the Knights, and now it's another handoff to Vaughan. He makes the first down up the middle and plenty more yards, rumbling forward past the 30-yard line, down at about the 25-yard line.
No, I know we've got the meat VP, but there's a hell of a lot of meat on that offensive line, and Sean Vaughan rumbling down the field behind. He's so difficult to stop when he gets ahead of steam.
Aztecs moving quickly again. It's a pass over the left-hand side. Once again, the slot receiver has not been touched. Tommy Drain-Weeks would have had a walk-in touchdown there. Benzi just throws it over his head, and it's going to be second down, Aztecs.
Yeah, I almost want to grab one of the Knights coaches and say, do you know you're not covering the slot receiver? So Tommy Drain-Weeks was wide open, but missed him.
Vaughan takes the handoff to the right-hand side. He makes about 7 yards there. And it's going to bring up make that third down for the Aztecs. They've already shown that they're willing to go on fourth down, and they're quick again to the line. Vaughan on the right-hand side, short of the line to gain. He's going to be about a yard, maybe 2 yards short.
Yeah, well, we'll see now whether they go for it on fourth. It looks like they are, Andrew. They're going to dial it up, keep Lewis out there. Sean Vaughan will go for it on fourth down, and he's still going. They can't bring him down. They do finally get to him, but not after he manages to pick up the first down rather, and a hell of a lot more. So great running there, and a Knights player, 2 Knights players down on the turf as well, trying to get a sight of who that second player might be. First Knights player is up. But yeah, Sean Vaughan with the first down.
And you can tell they're really struggling with this pace and this tempo. And when Sean Vaughan's running the ball as well, you've got 2 Rushmoor Knights struggling after the play. 1 down, 1 hobbling off, and it's a real struggle for them. So we've got a moment whilst there's an injured player or 2, and we'll have a little talk about the meet VP.
There are 10 minutes remaining in the game, 10 minutes.
We've had a number of good performances, but at some point we're going to have to pick one out. So we'll go through a few of the candidates and see if we can figure one out as Benzi hands it off to Zabina on the left-hand side. He spins, he's forward, he's going for the end zone, and just short of the goal line there. So it's going to be second down and goal with no more than a yard to go.
Yeah, just on the replay here, good pace, and then that nice little spin move inside. But
quick
short.
snap, it's going to be Zabina again, but this time met by 2 Rushmoor Knights. It's third down for the Aztecs.
Place coming in thick and fast from that sideline. Brian really got his offense moving at pace now, and now they decide to huddle, so they're slowing it down, but they're controlling what the Knights can do. Because as a defense, you're completely off balance.
Out of the mini huddle they come, Bowering single
34.
to the left-hand
Fred
side.
Smith is number 34.
Benzi drops back, deep drop for Benzi, out to the right side. It's Zabina, the running back on the pattern. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Aztecs!
I love that throw from Benzi, just sidearms it, almost like Patrick Mahomes-ish, straight to the running back Zabana, who scored last week, last game against Rushmoor. He's got another one on the board for himself. But yeah, beautiful play from Benzi running the whole of that 2-minute drill so well.
I love that play design. 2 receivers on the right side running straight across the formation. Zavina against the grain, runs over to the sideline, wide open. Benzi finds his target, and it is good for 6 points as we set up for the extra point. And just like we saw in the halftime show while we were kicking for Nando's Chicken, it's a missed extra point, and it stays 56-2 to the Aztecs.
No Nando's Chicken on that kick. Here's what Andrew was talking about. You can see the receiver coming against the grain. They run 2 receivers to the left-hand side. Zabana comes from left to right, and Benzi hits him in stride. So great design. But you know what impressed me about that drive was just the pace at which the Aztecs were running it, and the plays were coming in thick and fast. And Benzi's obviously put in the time to be able to make sure that, you know, he knows how to run this offense at pace. Very impressive.
So we have under 8 minutes to go, and as we're getting ready for the kickoff, we can probably have our first conversation about the meet VP. Obviously, we've seen Quinton Wimmer touchdowns, we've seen Josh Brees touchdowns, we've seen Ethan Gretzinger throw a couple himself as well, we've seen wide open touchdowns as well. But we spoke earlier, so much defensive play and so many standout plays on the defense today. There's probably been one guy who has shown up the most on that side of the ball. Would you agree?
I would, Andrew, and I think we're gonna give you that straight after this kickoff. We'll let you know who that is.
So it's fumbled on the kickoff by Rushmoor. There's a question there whether it is a turnover, whether he got it or not. It's Salu To who fumbled the kick return in the first instance, then tried to collect it in the second instance. He's just down on the turf receiving a little bit of treatment, and we wait to hear from the referee on the outcome of the play.
Yeah, so in terms of our meet VP for this week, this is a player that's playing defense for the Aztecs, but has also just made tremendous individual plays for the Aztecs as well today. So not just playing unit defense, but he's had a stripped fumble. He's also had one where Niall Ashworth was able to pick the ball up after this player ripped it out and then drive down the field.
The ruling on the field is the ball came out and was recovered by Bristol. First down, Bristol.
So Bristol able to get another offensive possession here, and we're teasing the meet VP.
We're gonna give it to you. So your me VP for this week is going to be Fred Smith, number 34 linebacker, who's just had an outstanding game with that strip, fumble and a touchdown of his own.
So he's made a clear impact on the game and earns today's Meet VP honours. Big thank you to New Manor Farm Shop, award-winning farm shop, butchers and cafe for sponsoring the award and providing today's winner with a £50 butcher's basket. So we will make sure we get we'll make sure that we get an interview with him after the handshakes at the end of the game. Katie will be making sure she gets an interview with him, as well as head coach Pete Jones, maybe even a couple of other of the Aztecs as well. Still got a moment here with a Rushmoor night down. It's going to be the Aztecs offense on the field, but again, while we've got a moment, I think what we could probably go back to is talking about that Steve Hopkins interview and how important the message is, because I did a little bit of research. Whilst Movember is our Men's Health Month, it's actually Men's Mental Health Week next week, June 14th to 21st, Carl, and it's really important to have somebody bringing up those conversations, those issues, to make sure that people are aware of them.
Yeah, absolutely. It affects the men at all different ages, a young man or older men. It's you know, having a men's mental health conversation is absolutely essential. You've got the Gareth Southgate documentary just gone about
after the play was over,
the impact
we have
on
an
young men.
unsportsmanlike conduct by 64 on the defence. That's his first unsportsmanlike. The penalty will be half the distance to goal line. First down, Bristol.
Yeah, so just to wrap that up, the more conversations we can have on that subject, Andrew, the better. And it's a great conversation you'll get to hear next week with Katie's interview.
Ash Bailey, SGS Pride, quarterback, checks in at running back for the Aztecs. He takes the outside handoff to the right. There's a flag on the play, and Ash Bailey is taken down for maybe a yard's gain, no more. It's a little bit of handbags over on that right-hand side as tempers fray towards the end of the game. Under 7 minutes left, and we'll just wait for the call here by head referee Keith Wickham.
Holding, offense, number 77. 10 yards, will still be first down.
So holding call on the Aztecs offense there. That's Paul Potter, who has checked into the game on offense for the Aztecs. So they'll come back 10 yards, so it'll be first down and 20. Long way to go, but the Aztecs have shown that they can put up points from any position here.
But interesting to see who they've got in the backfield, because they've got Lewis Benzie, but also, as you said, Sam Bailey, who can also play quarterback. Might be trying to set something up, maybe the Aztecs. You might see Bailey throwing the ball at some point, as we've got a slight delay on the field. They're going to move the ball 5 yards in favor of the Aztecs. In fact, it's going to go further down the field, and they're going to go back to that original line of scrimmage.
I think they're just going to make sure they've paced out their 10 yards.
Oh, they're going to go back, Andrew.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
me trying to follow the action. It's just the referees wandering up.
Yeah, they want to make
field.
sure they've marked out their 10 yards. They don't want to get this wrong. So first, an accurate first down and 20 for the Aztecs as Bailey takes the handoff, bounces it to the left-hand side, makes the first tackle a miss. He's over to the sideline and out of bounds there at around about the 20-yard line. The Aztecs are going to move fast once again. They're aware that the clock is against them, and they are fully in no huddle mode here.
Bailey is so graceful when he's running, isn't he? Long-legged runner.
Snap taken, it's Benzie, drops back quickly out of his hands on the left-hand side. Bowering was the intended receiver there. Over his head it goes, incomplete, brings up third down.
Yeah, 3rd and 15. Looks like Rushmoor are going to stop the clock to have a think about what they want to do in third down. Don't want to give up any more points.
At 6 minutes exactly, 6 minutes, first timeout, Knights.
So timeout taken there by the Rushmoor Knights.
I like the different options that Benzie's got. Bailey on that play, although Lewis Benzie threw the ball deep, Bailey was making himself available in the flat from that running back position. So I think there's going to be something creative coming soon.
So third down and 15 for the Aztecs. Bowering and Drain Weeks to the left-hand side. Green singled up on the right. It's a handoff on the right-hand side for the Aztecs. Doesn't make any yards there. A bundle, call it 4 Rushmoor Knights there on the tackle. Brings it fourth down. So Rushmoor player slow to get up. He does indeed get up. But again, the Aztecs offense staying on the field.
It's good defense from the Rushmoor Knights. Good defensive work on the edge from Alex Daniel, the defensive back.
Benzie drops back, throws to the end zone. He's got Green over the top. Beats the defender. A second touchdown of the day for Chris Green. Touchdown, Aztecs.
What a beautiful pass from Lewis Benzie. Love that. Didn't loop it as you normally see, just kind of throw it up, but he did have some speed on it. And it was a great pass. We'll see if we can get you a look at this. A couple of great passes from Lewis. So he doesn't loop it up entirely. He puts some speed on the ball as well. And it's a beautiful catch to locate the ball in the sunshine. Chris Green with the TD.
Seasoned veteran Chris Green catches the touchdown, then comes on to be the holder and perform those duties. The kick is up, and it's a firm kick. It's got plenty of leg, and it's got the accuracy. It's a completed extra point, and that is 69 to Bristol, 2 to the Rushmoor Knights.
Here's the touchdown again. And these defensive backs have had a tough old day against the Aztecs receivers. No chance there for the Aztecs defensive back. But again, it's not just the receivers. The quarterbacks have been very accurate. I've been impressed with Lewis Benzie's accuracy. He's had some problems with interceptions coming in, and he's not thrown one today, keeping the ball safe. But there's some really beautiful passes that he's made on the short pass to Sabana.
There is under 4 minutes on the game clock,
on this,
and it is
latest
running.
touchdown as well.
So under 4 minutes to go now in the game. It's going to be Bristol kicking off to Rushmoor, and you can see after that first half where there was so much promise, there were so many impactful plays by the Knights, it's just started to ebb away a little bit for them. But all in all, I think there are a lot of positives that the Rushmoor Knights can take from this game. Scoreline aside, lots of things that they can take into their next game.
Absolutely.
Kick return taken over to the right-hand side here. Makes a man miss. Over halfway goes the kick returner there. It was Justin Schwertner on the kick return, and it brings out the Rushmoor offense in the Bristol half of the field.
Yeah, we were saying, I mean, that's another highlight that they can look back. That nice kick return from Schwertner, and it's those sorts of things that you can build on again. But I think Rushmoor will go away from this game, you know, obviously you never want to see a score like that up against you. What, 69 points now that the Aztecs have put up. But there is a clear separation between the Aztecs, maybe the Blitz, and then everyone else in this division. And Rushmoor have certainly shown enough here to show that they will compete with the likes of Wembley, they will compete with the likes of Cambridge. Maybe even give the Blitz a game, although they played them already back-to-back before they made this transition, so no chance to do that.
Saluto is back in the game next to McFarlane. McFarlane takes the snap, looks the pass, he's going to go deep over the left-hand side. Oh. He's got Schwertner. It was in his hands. It bounced off him as he went down to the floor. There was a chance. I mean, we've had ridiculous plays here today, and it would have been absolutely ridiculous if there was a interception whilst lying on his back, but it's an incomplete pass and brings up second down.
It nearly happened. Yeah, there it is. He's very nearly got hold of that ball as that
was Harry Buckland at cornerback on the incompletion. It would have been the most miraculous of interceptions where he knew absolutely nothing about it.
By time, this is the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
And so 2 minutes to go here in the game. 69-2 is the scoreline. The Aztecs rolling out comfortable winners, plenty of action, plenty of touchdowns. Remember, Fred Smith, our meat VP today, too many sizzle plays to go unnoticed, so he will walk away with the new Manor Farm 50-pound butcher's baskets, and I'm sure that's going to be very popular at home over the next week.
Yeah, give me an invite, Fred, if you're listening.
So second down and 10 for McFarlane and that Knights offense. Bristol backing out into a deep cover 3 look here. McFarlane steps back, he looks over the middle, it's tipped by Abassi, but then collected by Schwertner. What a catch there. Chen Abassi had a hand on the ball, still managed to make the catch. It was a huge gain on the play, over 20 yards on the play there, brings up a Rushmoor Knights first down, and they are moving quickly inside the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that was just drilled in there. Really nice throw and catch, and some
at 1:21, 1-2-1, second time out, Knights.
Winding his way through that defense before Harry Newman could bring him down. So nice pickup for the Knights. And I thought they were taking a leaf out of the Aztecs' books. They're going quickly, but they've slowed it down again.
Sorry, Cole McFarlane there. I said Ethan Cole McFarlane really showing there when he puts his back foot in the ground and chooses to throw and has the time to throw. Really nice, accurate pass there for the Knights. So it's first and 10 on the Bristol Aztecs 25-yard line. They come out, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. McFarlane once again back to pass. He has pressure, he has to move to the left-hand side. Buckland is there once again. He tried to make a play on the ball. It goes incomplete. The pressure there from Carlson Charles, forcing McFarlane to the left-hand side to reposition and throw.
That's second opportunity for Buckland to try and pick one off. Not managed to get hold of one, but he's in the right position all the time in that defensive back spot. No chance for the reception to be made by Richard Jarvis.
And so it's going to be second down and 10, same spot, 25-yard line for Rushmoor. Snap taken, it's going to be McFarlane looking to the right-hand side. It's a completed pass to Giorgio on the right-hand side.
There's a flag down in the backfield there, and I don't know whether that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct, because it's right there where the quarterback threw the ball. We'll see, which will make this worse, but there's also a flag where the reception was made.
Some serious substitutions going on for the Aztecs there. Van Trasanis, Billy Elliott and Ramari Bennett checking into the game as James Wilford tries to work the reps and the rotations, especially with the clock counting down. Less than 30 seconds left in the game.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 99 Bristol. That penalty's declined. Holding, Bristol, 52, 10 yards from the flag, automatic first down.
So Niall Ashworth had the penalty declined on him. Trying to find a 52. I don't think they have a 52.
I think he meant Carlos Charles, number 92, the defensive line, rather than 52. But that's the penalty that they take.
And so it is goal to go for the Knights. Last time they were here, it was a 98-yard fumble return by our meet VP. And so with less than 30 seconds to go, McFarlane steps back. He's got a fire blitz happening, rolls out to the right-hand side. He points to his players to make the block. Out of bounds he goes. Harry Ward shepherds him out of bounds.
Well, they send the blitz up the middle, but McFarlane's still able to escape, you see here, to the edge.
At 13 seconds, 1-3 seconds, third and final timeout, Knights.
So it's probably only going to be one more play for the Knights. Even if it goes incomplete, the clock will not stop. So this might be our final play of the game, and I think they would like nothing better than to get one on the board and show that from that positivity in the first half, they get something to show for it on the way back down that M4 corridor.
Yeah, now where's number 29, Schwertner? He's that slot receiver to the left-hand side. Keep your eye on him, or maybe the run option.
So McFarlane in the shotgun, takes a snap, he drops back, he's looking for Schwertner on the corner route, up he goes for the ball, it's contested, there's a melee on the ground, we wait for the signal from the referee, and it is a turnover to the Bristol Aztecs.
Wow, they get the interception to Bristol Aztecs and slam the door shut in the Rushmoor Knights' face on the last play of the game by the looks of things.
And it's Harry Buckland. He had two opportunities for the interception in that drive, but he comes up on the third time of asking. It was contested between him and Schwertner.
It was a touchback and time expired. That's the end of the game.
And just like that, there was a chance for a touchdown. It came up as an interception for a touchback, and that is our final whistle here. It is 69-2 to the Bristol Aztecs. They remain undefeated on their season. Their march back towards Brit Bowl continues. They are full steam ahead there, and now all of their attention turns to the London Blitz here next weekend at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, a lot of what they came into this game to achieve, the Bristol Aztecs, they will have done. You know, they wanted to make sure that they were running some different things. They run a lot of hurry up today. They got some other players in. They got Benzie some time. They got some touchdowns from their superstars, but they also went deeper into the play, into that depth chart, and got some good scores from other players as well. So the Aztecs come out victorious. Still a juggernaut performance and stifling defense again, but reflections on Rushmoor. They came in here and played a really great game. Nobody really knew how they were going to respond. You know, they say it's not what happens to you, it's when you get knocked down, it's about how you get up and fight on, and that's what Rushmoor did. They did get up, they have come in here, and they have played a good game against a very, very good Bristol Aztecs side, and I think this will help them build for the future, Andrew, as they move into that second half of the season.
Yes, absolutely. It was a very well contested game. There were opportunities for the Knights in the red zone. There were big defensive plays that they made. They forced the turnover on Gretzinger, managed to get the fumble on him there, and there were opportunities for them to put points on the board. We see here our highlights of the game. Obviously, the game started off with Sam East behind the block of Quintin Wimmer. It was a really statement play at the start of the game for the Aztecs. That put them up on the board. And then Gretzinger, the general, going back to his favorite target over the top, found Quintin Wimmer for the touchdown. We'll see that play a little bit later on, I feel, as well.
You're just going to keep saying it till it sticks, Andrew.
And
the general, here we go, this is McFarlane.
McFarlane got the ball into the Aztecs red zone. He tried to run the speed option. It ended up being a turnover to the Aztecs. Niall Ashworth playing far too much NCAA. Tried to flip it. It ended up being a scramble on the deck. Idrissa Fofana came up with it, and then Josh Brees on the Wildcat rumbled into the end zone, easy as you like, and it was really off to the races there for Bristol after that point. Gretzinger later on in that second quarter rolled to the right-hand side. He was trying to make something happen, ended up fumbling the ball. It was collected by the Rushmoor Knights all the way down to the 2-yard line it went. And Rushmoor were in business, weren't they, Carl?
Yeah, this play started off a really interesting, super entertaining sequence of plays that took place with after the turnover, Rushmoor trying to get it in from the 2-yard line on second down. They go for the quarterback sneak, and just that defensive line just crushes the offensive center and the quarterback. And this is why Fred Smith is our meet VP with a fantastic 99-yard fumble recovery touchdown, Aztecs. And look at that form, that boy can run. That was an amazing run down the field.
Not only was it 99 yards, it was 99 Aztec sideline members joining him in the end zone. Then later on in the second quarter, the general went back to Quinton Wimmer over the top, and it was another pitch and catch touchdown from the two Americans. Before half-time, McFarland was trying to make something happen as he tried to force his way over the first down marker. The ball was stripped out by the meet VP, Fred Smith. Niall Ashworth was able to collect it, and then behind a sea of orange, he proceeded into the end zone, easy as you like.
Yeah, you can see Smith there, he's ripped it out, and he's also blocking. Real team effort performance for our meet VP, fully deserved, I think, Andrew, looking back at the pictures.
Definitely, and then Gretzinger in the third quarter, using that no huddle so effectively. Wide open was Sam East in the slot position. It was a simple pitch and catch. And then later on in the game, when Lewis Benzie's come into the game, he saw, it was almost like, being in the Matrix with the Black Cat scene. Sees Chris Green wide open. Easy throw to Chris Green, and then later on in the fourth quarter, McFarland again, he was pounded by the Aztecs defense all day, threw it up, it was caught for the touchback, sorry, for the safety even, 2 points to the Aztecs, and then Benzie finishes off the scoring, takes the drop back, finds Joe Zabiner in the flat, and into the end zone he went.
Yeah, just great play from Benzie and running the offense at pace very quickly. Rian screaming in those signals to Lewis, and him, doing his job. This was another, he can drill the ball in there, but he can also throw these touch passes. And that was a beautiful touch pass to Chris Green, the experienced veteran, who catches another one touchdown and adds that to his tally for his career. This was the last play of the game as Rushmoor try and get it to the Schwartzner, but it's picked off by Harry Buckland. He had 3 times the charm, and the third time trying to pick that ball off, he finally gets it and shuts the door in the Rushmoor Knights' face. Aztecs win big again, Andrew.
2 things that happened all day. Carl struggled with Schwertner's name. I tried to make Ethan Gretzinger the general, but one thing we do know is that Fred Smith is the meet VP, and Katie's found him down on the sideline. Katie, over to you.
Yes, that's right. I am stood here with your MVP for this game, the Bristol Aztecs versus Rushmoor Knights. It's Fred Smith, number 34. Fred, talk to me. How was that game for you?
Yeah, it was really good. We started a bit slow, but built into it throughout the game and ended well.
And how have you found this season so far?
Yeah, good. We've come a long way from the start of the season already, and there's still more in the tank.
There absolutely is. It's been so exciting to watch, and I know the fans have been absolutely loving it. Now, this game has been really entertaining, hasn't it? Do you think that when you were in your training, particularly after the win that you guys had at home for the Rushmoor Knights, how did it feel preparing for this game? Do you feel like you were really ready for it?
Yeah, it was tough with such a big win last time to get prepared for this game, but I think we just kept the training the same way we did every other game, and we saw the results.
Absolutely. And London Blitz next week, same time. How are you feeling about that?
Excited, man. I'm going to win again.
That's what we like to hear. Thank you so much, Fred, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks. Congrats. And I'm soon to be joined by Pete, but just a little overview on how the MVP works this season. We are combining efforts with New Manor Farm Shop, which is owned by one of our none other than Aztecs alumni, Matt Vanstone, and each MVP will be gifted a meat basket to celebrate their achievements for that week, which is amazing. And I'm here with Pete Jones. Hello. Pete, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Now, how do you feel watching that game? How do you feel about your team's commitment to discipline and execution?
Yeah, we were pretty good. I mean, there's still a few things we need to clean up, a few sloppy penalties. So, there's always work-ons, no matter what the score is.
And looking ahead to next week's matchup with the London Blitz, is there a number one area that you want to sharpen up with your team?
I think we just need to be kind of a bit cleaner everywhere. We're sometimes a little bit lethargic on the field. On offense, we need to move more quickly between plays as well as in the plays, and just clean up on a few of these kind of stupid unforced errors.
And tactically speaking, what is the biggest positive that you saw this week that you're looking to bring forward into that matchup against the Blitz?
I mean, we got more guys, more reps, which just gives us better quality and depth, and we get more film, and it's kind of just part of that continual process. There's no one thing, but hopefully we get better every game with every sort of block of games as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, and congratulations again. Thank you. That is all from your coverage. Oh, we are joined actually by your in-stream commentator Andrew Morgan and analyst Carl Walkinshaw. Gentlemen, how did you find that game?
Yeah, I mean, it was more competitive, I think, at points than we thought it was going to be. I think after an 83-0 blowout, you think, okay, Bristol are going to do the job again and it's not going to be competitive. But I think both me and Andrew were both excited to see that Rushmoor brought a little bit of energy. They brought some competition to it, and it was good to see. Aztecs obviously coming out big winners again, but lots for Rushmoor to build on.
It was a very entertaining matchup, wasn't it, actually, which is just so great to see. And from an analysis perspective, how do you think that, what can they take forward, the Rushmoor Knights, into their next game of the season?
Well, I was really impressed by their new quarterback. The Brunel guy's come in, he's played really well, he's thrown some good balls, and he's that dual threat running back that they were looking for, that they didn't have before. They had a pocket passer, and when you play Aztecs against her, they're just going to crush them. But McFarlane can go on and do some really good things, and the second half of their season is so much easier than the first. They had back-to-back losses against the Blitz, then they had back-to-back losses against the Aztecs. Now they can regroup and they get to play Cambridge and Wembley, and they can compete in those games.
Very much so, indeed. And Andrew, let's look forward to the future. So next week, June 20th, we're back here, same kick-off time against the London Blitz. What do you think the Bristol can really take forward into that challenge?
Well, I think they're going to find out from probably the opening kick-off, the games that they've played previously against Rushmoor, against Wembley, against Nottingham. It's going to be a whole different kettle of fish. It's going to be a lot of rivalry. There's always been that traditional rivalry between the London teams, whether it's the Blitz or the Warriors, and Bristol. So they know what's going to be coming up. And as Pete said there, lots to improve on, lots to tighten up, and that's going to be the game to really see it.
I agree. It's going to be quite another entertaining one to watch, hopefully. Great. Well, thank you, gentlemen. And thank you so much, everybody who has tuned in to watch the stream today. We'll be right back here on your screen Saturday, June 20th, as the Aztecs go head-to-head with the London Blitz. Until then, from myself, Carl and Andrew and the rest of the Aztecs crew, thank you and have a great rest of your weekend.